nostril that conveyed to me that he had an asparagus dish at Denny's last eve. I crept up behind him, stuck my hands in his back pockets of his jorts, and whispered in his ear, "Were they roasted? Did you marinate those spears in a stew consisting of a loosely related gentleman's sweet tinky brine?"
Okay.
Tinky brine, baby.
I let his splashback warm my arms. I let his waist warm my soul.
No.
Think about it, Doug.
That's enough.
Tunnels Talty.
Tunnels Talty just got himself suspended. I'm writing his name in the suspension log, and it is indeed leather bound.
I'm writing his name in the cuts.
Tunnels Talty will be suspended a period of 2 days' time, and I don't expect it feels real good. And those were the cuts of the week.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with a great TMA sponsor, and that is Longo Biggs Injury Law Firm. And you may hear a bunch of out-of-state law firms advertising here and there all over on billboards and so on and so forth. But the thing is, oftentimes their goal is to just settle and move on, and that's not what you guys do.
Yeah, this is CD Longo, and you hear us talking a lot about maximizing the value of cases, but what does that actually mean? Well, as Tim said, there's lots of personal injury lawyers in St. Louis, and everyone handles cases differently. We focus on getting the highest dollar amount for your injuries, not just getting a resolution quickly. We're constantly tracking all the settlements and verdicts in the area. This helps us advise our clients on whether a settlement offer is too low. And if the amount of compensation being offered is too low, we are happy to file lawsuits and proceed to trial to ensure our clients receive an amount that is fair. Visit our website or Google us at Longo Biggs Injury Law.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hey, this is Joe Buck. We all have people we miss and who we would do anything to see or hear again. Whenever I want to hear my dad's voice, all I have to do is go to YouTube, but most people don't have that luxury. Now with Sound Story, your family's stories can be saved forever. Sound Story is a professionally produced hour-long conversation in which you or one of your loved ones is interviewed by the host of your choice, including TMA's own Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, and Jackson Burkett. Hundreds of St. Louisans have already told their stories with Sound Story, and the experience is one they loved.
I think everybody that can do it, they should, for their children, for their grandchildren, because I know I would give anything to hear my parents' voice.
Visit mysoundstory.com today and use promo code TMA for 10% off your Sound Story gift certificate purchase. That's mysoundstory.com, promo code TMA for 10% off your Sound Story gift certificate purchase. Sound Story, for you, for them, forever.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day. TMA presents their second ever trivia night, November 11th at Tim's alma mater, St. Gabe's, starting at 7:30 p.m. A little different than last year. Not just TMA trivia, all trivia, sports, entertainment, STL-centric, and a few rounds of TMA trivia thrown in for good measure. And it's hosted by Tim, Doug, Iggy, Plowsy, Action Jackson, and whoever else is on the show. You can purchase single tickets, tables of 8, or anything in between. Tickets are on sale now and are $45 a person. A portion of the proceeds from the event will go to St. Gabe's. Tickets include food from Salt and Smoke and all your Anheuser-Busch beer. But feel free to bring your own food and drink too. Another TMA Trivia Night, November 11th. Get more info and find out how to buy tickets at TMASTL.com.
TMA Trivia Night is brought to you by South City Sporting Goods.
Rise and shine, St. Louis. It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After on KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. At the Morning After STL on YouTube and on TMASTL.com with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Iggy Strode, The Plowboy, and Action Jackson.
7 in St. Louis, you're listening to TMA. It's presented to you by Brown and Crouppen. Welcome, friends, to the Michelob Ultra Studios. Munganess St. Louis Acura. Alton Toyota, 7 o'clock hour. Timothy Michael McKernan, Douglas Sullivan, Vaughn, Kenneth Iggy Strode, the Plowhawk, and Action Jackson with you. Come on in. The water is really warm today, actually. And you can text in 314-881-TMA5, EDF Group text inbox. Phone calls, nothing but phone calls for the next 3 hours, 636-9004-TMA. And email in for our Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day. Doug, this is the one you wanted. This is the one you got.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to this one because it's the one I got.
What about the one you wanted?
Well, I don't know that I ever really want them.
What?
I'll come in and do them. I don't know that on my way here I go, gosh, I want this one. I want this one so badly. Maybe I should start to think that. It's probably a healthy way to think, though.
What about the HD2 ratings wars?
Oh. Are there other HD2 shows in town?
Yeah, I think so.
Could you imagine rating them if there was? And could you imagine not winning?
Yeah.
Fourth in the HD2 St. Louis
How
market?
do you guys do this? Wow, we did fourth in HD2, then 25-54.
Well, we'd still get some kind of award, wouldn't we?
Yeah, everyone gets an award.
I would like a medal, a pendant of some sort.
The skeleton this morning was incredible. Iggy's cast iron, Jackson for getting the 49ers during the Sports Center update, and Plowsy's Dutch oven. Bravo. That's from the Millennial. How about that? A compliment. A lot of criticism comes in here, but we got a compliment, and I read it.
It's still the same template.
Same template, different skeleton?
No, it's just, I guess he liked that trio of segments. It just so happened that they were playing back to back to back.
Nice.
Not always, you're probably not going to like everything that's going to be on there.
Yeah.
Best of is a very loose term we use around here, so.
Shows we did in the past.
Yeah, because, you can't have all Swope's pick. Those are fantastic, but we just don't have, a slew of those.
Have you loaded? Do you load them every day or by the week?
I try to do, every 2 weeks, load in, 15
So
or
you
so.
have it all loaded for tomorrow?
Load.
You mean I loaded them this morning for tomorrow, yeah.
Okay.
But I have the ability to edit them at any time as well.
Is that a great idea?
Let me hear it.
Oh, brother.
Well, Sunday.
I love this idea already.
No, I'm sorry. It's next week, not this week. For next week, next Saturday is Gobble Bowl, and it's the 1-year anniversary of Jay's passing. Maybe next Friday, put a bunch of Jay in there if you could.
Oh, yeah, I would actually.
Great idea. That is legitimate great idea.
Wonderful.
And Jay is so good. He is in a lot of the best ofs.
Yeah.
So you could easily do a big section. So I love that idea, actually.
I can't think of a bad show Jay was on.
No, man.
He's just instant gold.
Yeah, especially the foot fetish ones are insane.
FFF.
Mm-hmm.
Great radio when you're talking about what foot is in front of him. And
Oh, yeah, we do miss him.
Amen.
I don't miss the Dutch oven that you did, though.
yeah, that
could've-
was one of the low
Could
moments.
have put you in jail. That's criminal behavior there.
Well, it typically.
I got to turn the thermostat to the left every morning.
Yeah.
Somebody must come in here for
This
real. and
was
do-
actually me this time.
Oh, was it cold this
It was
morning?
cold as
Really?
hell. Because it was down to the lowest setting all overnight.
Is that right?
My body was a little chilly.
Well, we
So
turned the air
body's a
conditioning on
wonderland.
there at the end of yesterday's show. We turned the air conditioning on.
Yeah, so it kept
So it
running
probably
until
ran
the
all-
entire
yeah.
time. Yeah, so I was a little chilly, so that was me.
All right.
But in 5 minutes, the thing will
See,
probably
our
be
old
nice.
studio, that we didn't have that problem. Our old studio across the hallway was actually chilly. I think it's because we're next to the bathroom. We get that heat
What heat's coming out of the bathroom?
off the recreationals in there.
Oh,
Really? Is that right, Doug? That creates heat?
I tell you, I don't want to go potty talk, but I always said I would take a smell over a warm seat any day of the week if I walked.
Think
into
about
the
that, Doug.
God, it
facility.
didn't take long to get to that, did it?
That's it. That's the end of it. That one I needed to make that statement before
Yeah.
we move on.
'Cause you
Plowboy's
wanted
been
it.
killing it with the skeleton recently. Some news sprinkled in with the repeats. That's from Brian Henson. Doug, what's going on with this EDF group text inbox this morning?
know.
It's all positivity.
They woke up in a good mood.
I could and should edit and do more of them, so I need to make a better effort at that. But yeah, I tend to load about 15 to 20-ish every couple weeks. So, I mean, it just, you always want to bring in new material, but not everything is the best of. Doug.
No.
It's hard to find that right, sort of thing, and you kind of got to teeter out the old stuff and bring in a little bit of newer stuff.
It's hard to believe some of our shows aren't good enough to be heard over and over and over
Thank you.
again.
Thank you for saying that.
Outside of Sinbad.
'Cause that kind of pissed me
Right,
off.
Sinbad, of course. That's a daily thing.
Hey, we are, what, Doug, would you say, about 57 hours away from Trivia Night at St. Gabriel's? So you're sitting there going, what are we going to do this weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, I got an idea. Let's go to St. Gabriel's and have $45 all you can drink AB products and all you can eat salt and smoke. And then we'll hang out with those nitwits from the HD2 show next to the urinal and answer some trivia questions. Okay, sounds like a plan. Go to TMASTL.com to make that plan a reality and experience the glory that is the second annual TMA Trivia Night. This year's trivia questions are not all TMA. They're general sports, entertainment, St. Louis knowledge, one round of trivia, one round of Iggy's music questions. Doors open at 6:30, trivia starting at 7:30. Tickets are $45 a person, and you can purchase single tickets, a table of 8, or anything in between. And the tickets include food from Salt and Smoke and beer from Anheuser-Busch, but feel free to bring your own food and drink as well. Portion of the proceeds from the evening will go to St. Gabriel's. It is TMA Trivia Night in 48 hours. 57 hours?
Well,
60
it's
hours?
a lot of hours.
60 hours?
A couple dozen.
Well, either way. TMASTL.com. Munganast, sponsor of our 7 o'clock hour, stlouisacura.com, altontoyota.com. Doug, tell me one thing you love about Munganast. What's the first thing? Family Feud.
I like the product that they sell.
Nice.
The Acuras are just fantastic cars, and so are the Toyotas there from Alton Toyota.
Yeah. Munganast Burkhardt, Alton Toyota, Jamie Burkhardt.
But service is where you need them more.
And you know
because you go there multiple times, no matter what car you buy, you gotta keep it serviced, and it's got the greatest service department you've ever been to.
I got a nail taken out of my tire and an oil change the other day. And what I love about Munganast, they call a day or 2 days later, ask about the service. What can we do? It's, not only do they do enough right there face to face, but then they call you and ask, what can we do for you beyond that? So they're fantastic.
They really are.
Yeah. And don't overlook the Snick Snacks.
I mean, the Cougar is insane. Baja Blast in a can. I mean, those are even hard to find in stores.
It's all available for you at stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com. It's Munganast, St. Louis Acura, and Alton Toyota. Munganast, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota. Sponsor of the 7 o'clock hour here on TMA. Doug has tufts of wisps. Wisps of tufts? Tufts of wisps?
Tufts of wisps.
God, it's coming in.
Yeah. Can you see that?
I've noticed it so much lately, Doug.
Yeah,
it is, Plowhawk.
It does. It takes a little while. But you would expect that.
Sure.
I mean, it doesn't happen
You knew that.
instantly. It takes a period of a few months, half a year, or a full year before you get the full product. So I think we're all looking forward to seeing just how handsome I can be
I agree.
when a full year goes by. Because I am getting better looking virtually every day because I went to St. Louis Hair Restoration. And I saw Dr. Polinga and the founder there, Greg Kryling, both of them patients of their own product, by the way. They wouldn't have it done on themselves if they weren't confident that it wasn't going to work. And it does. It works great. I had the FUE procedure where they first they shave your head and then they take grafts out of the side and the back of your head where it's not susceptible to male pattern baldness. And then they transplant it to where you need it, whether that's the crown or the hairline or wherever. And then you just sit back and you grow these wisps. And that's where I am right now. I'm just a wisp grower.
Like that. St. Louis Hair Restoration is where you can grow your wisps. St. Louis Hair Restoration, wonderful sponsor of TMA. Guys, I was supposed to be out of town on Saturday, but plans just changed, and now I get to come and worship at the altar of Tim for trivia night.
Oh, God.
Yeah, there will be an altar set up. Will you guys be greeting contestants with a kiss on the lips as you did last year? That's from Minute Bowl eligible. Yeah. Why would we change?
Do you think we should set up some sort of altar or throne for you?
I
Maybe
would
a
hope that that's my understanding. That's the only way I leave my home is if I sit in a throne with phone books.
Reminds me a lot of the movie 300. The Persian Prince.
Gerard Butler.
Great movie, by the way. The Persian Prince is carried by his minions as he's like on this pyramid, it's hard to explain, but I feel like that to a lesser extent. I don't know if St. Gabe's could,
you think they should carry
that.
Tim around over their shoulders?
I don't understand why they wouldn't.
Wouldn't you feel weird? I mean, first of all, you feel bad for the people that are in charge of that, that have to carry it. Back in the old Roman days, all the kings and queens and the princesses, they never walked. They got into these chairs on top of wood, and then all these slaves would have to carry them.
Yeah.
They just walk.
Well, they had to walk someplace, I'm sure.
No, they get off their palace and they got to go maybe 50 feet. They get in their thing and they have to carry them.
Oh.
That's just too much.
Probably just to let the people know who was king.
Yeah, that's too much.
Why is Doug always so dark? Put a light on that beautiful man. That's from Howard Thompson in the YouTube chat, and he's not happy with the lighting.
He is darker than everybody else.
Well, the two lights are farther down
there's just studio. They're too late. I guess you're right.
I was thinking your material went dark. I was like, what did Doug say that
Doug
got
has dark
everybody
material.
down?
It's like Carlin at the end.
Blew me.
Here's a place to get Plowhawk Dog. I got to tell you, I hate to do this, and I'll on the front end. It's like a spoiler alert. I'm about to talk about sports.
I beg your pardon?
Yeah.
I'll go smoke.
It doesn't mean you have to fill your lungs with nicotine.
Derek Gould's article this morning, combined with an article on Bailey's, is substantive, is the way I'll describe it. Doug, you like that? Is substantive.
I didn't really like it too much.
Like it kind of I don't know. I don't feel
meaty?
like I'm like, I got an obligation to read the Post-Dispatch and the Athletic and the various places I go, Black to Raw, before I come in and do the shows. And so I was not anticipating when I clicked on Derek Gould's story of how, would you say, meaty it would be. But this is, maybe I'm overselling. Here's what I'm going to oversell it now.
Okay.
Within 30 minutes, he spent Wednesday talking to reporters. Cardinal executive John Mozeliak diagnosed his team's need for pitching upgrades in bulk. He mentioned the club's excitement for young talents who could arrive by 2025. And he stressed how uber competitive the market is for free agent starters this winter. It was only later, as he walked briskly back toward the team's suite, that Mozeliak fielded a question that brought those topics together. I love that this question was asked. My guess is Derek asked it, but I don't know that for certain. But this is my master's thesis for this Cardinal offseason. If their need for pitching is so obvious and the competition for that pitching so onerous?
I don't like that word.
Is there a scenario this winter where they cannot add pitching and must step back, adjust their focus toward when the talent surfaces in 2025, and even considering trading star veterans? I think that is a wonderful question to ask. Near the resort's pool, Mozeliak slowed his pace.
He was going to jump in?
God.
He's going swimming in the midst of all this?
I told you it was meaty, boy.
Man, he's painting a really nice portrait.
It's vivid, Plowhawk. Quote, not at all, he told the Post-Dispatch. That's not on our radar. Remember that quote in 2027. Okay. There is, after all, more at stake than the standings. God, I mean, this is I realize this is confirmation bias because this has been my master's thesis for the last year or so on this organization. The Cardinals' budget for player spending is tied to the $1 billion rights deal with a company we call Bailey's. Mm-hmm. When asked, Mozeliak said, quote, heavily. With the regional sports network marketplace in upheaval as a result of a bankruptcy filing and hemorrhaging cash, a handful of teams have not received payments, and others are unsteady. Mozeliak said he has not been told by ownership to scale back spending due to rights fees concerns, and the team received all of its payments in 2024. With that uncertainty, the Cardinals feel they must invigorate fans after a last-place season so the club can count on a revenue flow from Old Faithful. Ticket sales. Quote, I do think there are a lot of question marks for next year on RSNs, regional sports networks. That's fair, said Mozeliak. Our other revenue source is our attendance, so that is something from an organizational standpoint we want to be focused on, and we want to make sure that we can maintain that. We understand it's product-driven, so we want to improve the team to help that happen. That is the plan. So, I assume you follow all of that, but maybe it's a lot of words.
No, it's meaty, but
it's meaty. Okay. So what a spot here that they acknowledge what would logically be the case, that one major source of their revenue, approximately $60 to $65 million, and if you go, what does that mean in context? Well, if the payroll, the 40-man payroll, the 40-man, is around $200 million, then $65 million on the revenue side would certainly be considered substantial. I mean, it's $65 million is substantial, but how does it impact a business that's got billions of dollars in value? Well, $200 million expense payroll, $65 million revenue. That counts. I mean, you're talking about approximately a third, and that is uncertain. So they are approaching this upcoming season perhaps acknowledging that they are not going to be able to, that's how I read this, get the Yamamotos and Snells of the world, but that they got to put a competitive team on the field, not necessarily as some sense of an ethical obligation, as the people who are operating the team on behalf of the fans, but because they need to get the fans back into the building because the revenue coming from the regional sports networks is not certain. So they need attendance, they need concessions because there is instability with regards to the television situation. And then, Doug, I'll go further meat for you. If you want more meat, then I'll go to this article. This was posted on the TMA fan page this morning. It comes from an article, Cord Cutters is the title of the site, and cordcuttersnews.com. Bally's will stop airing MLB games after 2024, giving teams time to find new TV partners. So Bally's, in a court filing, announced that the 24 MLB season will stop broadcasting games, giving teams ability to, after that season, to find new TV partners with minimal impact on fans. This news brings to an end a long partnership between MLB and Bally's, formerly Fox Sports RSNs. In the filing with the court, Bally's said these actions give MLB and its clubs the clarity they demand in their objection concerning the future treatment of their telecast rights agreements and give them time to transition to another broadcast partner before the start of the 2025 MLB season. These actions will also minimize the risk of disruption to fans as the debtors expect to continue broadcasting through the 2024 MLB season. So that will end the Bally's Fund next year, and we're going to miss it. It's been great. I mean, who hasn't enjoyed the app?
Well, I can't ever get it on the app.
Okay, so you're the one person.
I just watch it on.
And what teams haven't enjoyed not receiving payment?
Well, most of them, I guess.
Okay, fine. So, to come full circle on this, my premise has been you have all of these teams searching for pitching, and they are the high-dollar teams. This isn't like the Marlins are looking for pitching and the Pirates. No. These are the big boys. This is Roll Tide. This is Kirby Smart. This is Ohio State. Everybody who can is going to be competing for Yamamoto, Snell, Nola, and the Cardinals are in that same pool. But they also acknowledge financially there's some instability with a big portion of their revenue, and that is the television rights, which now we see will be coming to an end after 2024. But as opposed to going, yeah, it might not work out for 2024, considering we, quote, need 3 pitchers, and we're counting on Steven Matz and Miles Michaelis, which is not necessarily counting on Nola and Wheeler in Philadelphia, that they are going to be aggressive this offseason because they got to get people back in the building because they can't afford, not from a moral or ethical standpoint, but they can't afford financially to have another attendance season like 2023. And I think if indeed that's the case, it could lead to problems on the field beyond this upcoming season because you may be irresponsible with the allocation of dollars to try to salvage what will be a difficult year to get it all back together. If you have to fill 60% of your rotation. And again, that's counting on 40% being Miles Michaelis and Steven Matz, which I don't think is necessarily something you can count on. That's all I have to say. Doug, your thoughts?
Right. Yeah, I don't think they're going to get one of the top free agent pitchers. I can't see that happening. I could see them signing maybe Trevor Bauer and Michael Wacha. Those guys in their early 30s coming off.
Have they conveyed
really pretty
that
good
they
years.
would do Trevor Bauer discussions?
I don't think the Cardinals ever said that, but I could see him getting that kind of a player. He just had a big year in Japan. He was very good there. And got cleared of all the problems, the legal problems that he had. So it wouldn't surprise me if they went that route and then maybe try to put together a big trade for another quality pitcher. That's the kind of thing that wouldn't surprise me. It would surprise me if they were the highest bidders for Nola or Snell or Yamamoto, one of those. That would surprise me.
Yeah, I actually think this is smart on their part to get out in front of this. You know, Mo likes to put a lot of fluff on things and, you know, say one thing, do the next, similar to what, you know, we're going to rank payroll. They ranked it by, what, 0.09% or 0.9%, something like that. I think it's smart to not get the fans' hopes up, you know, as they've done in years past. I think this is a smart play. And also, going from first to a grand slam here, but, I mean, the DeWitts, it's probably a great time to sell. There's unknown future of what baseball is going to look like in terms of how they're going to get it to viewers. You know, the contracts are so big. You know there's going to be a bubble there at some point. Is it going to be sustainable for, 30-plus years? It might be a good time to sell the team. I don't know.
That's the family business. I doubt they
Yeah.
do that.
I don't know, it just seems like probably a great time with all this, with all the question marks and.
And I get why he said it, because you're not just going to come out and say, yeah, we'll do that. But if you can't get any of these pitchers, and he mentioned 2025, the young people, you can't get any of these pitchers, you're not going to compete. But he said we're not trading the superstars. Why would you hold on to Goldschmidt for another year if you're not going to compete?
Well, you probably couldn't get a top-notch pitcher for him.
And you got to agree
He's
to a
too old.
trade. I think somebody explained that.
What
to
I'm
me.
saying is that if you don't get the pitchers, you're not going anywhere this year. They're going to. So if you trade Goldschmidt and get some prospects, at least get something for him. Or maybe you get a young pitcher in AAA for somebody who's competing, who needs a first baseman, and they'll give you some prospects. Why say we're not trading? I know why he said it. But why hold on to him for the entire year when he's gone next year?
Well, okay, I understand your question, and then it goes back to what I thought, and again, I'm operating on the premise based on the way that Derek wrote that article, that he kind of did what Strauss used to do, which is waited for the group to scatter and then got Mozeliak one-on-one, apparently by the pool, and asked him, if you're acknowledging that it is going to be ridiculously costly to acquire one of the top-tier pitchers this year, and if you know that or if you feel like you have some youth arriving to help the pitching in 2025, then perhaps it may make sense to pivot and trade Paul Goldschmidt, for example. And Mozeliak said, not at all. That's not on our radar. And the reasoning, going back to the outset of the show, is because they need the attendance dollars. So this whole thing now kind of comes together, which is why I consider this article to be substantive. I don't want to overstate it. But now all of these rivers meet as tributaries to explain what I think is why I think this is such a really difficult spot for the Cardinals. Baseball-wise, from my standpoint anyway, logic would dictate to try to trade Goldschmidt, possibly Arenado, depending on how quickly you think this pitching can really help you in 2025. And the Contreras situation is just a tough spot, but that's rough. I don't know what the solution is there. If somebody would take that on, that would be wonderful. But and then have a 2024 that is a bit of a reset. But what they're saying is they need the attendance, and they know that if they were to trade Paul Goldschmidt, just like the reaction we got from just reading a report in the Los Angeles Times about the interest of Nolan Arenado going to Los Angeles, it was just met in St. Louis by including by some in the media, as just, this has to be fake. And it's like, why would like the LA Times just like, especially the guy who's not like the main beat writer, just like make something up? I mean, if you think that's what happened, be my guest. But you saw the response in St. Louis to that. And the reason why I point all of that out is Cardinal fans, I think, for the most part right now, are expecting, not necessarily our show, TMA listeners per se, are expecting one of probably more Nola or Snell than Yamamoto, just because I don't know how many people are really familiar with Yamamoto. But those are the three at the top. Urias would have been in there, but now his spot's out. And so, okay, you got those three guys. Well, you're going to take your pick of whomever, the Yankees, Cubs, Red Sox, Phillies, whomever else, attempting to sign them. The price goes up. Cardinals aren't comfortable with that. Why? Because they don't need one. They need three, plus bullpen help. But the Cardinals aren't in a spot where they're going, yeah, we're going to pivot off that and reset in 2024 and just try to develop young players, win, Walker. They need people in the building. And so why? Well, because they have an instability in the television. So they have a real tough spot. And why I keep saying this, it worries me that they're going to make bad deals that's kind of a short-term move. But that's not really the way that they've operated the franchise. John Denton was a guest of ours on Balloon Party yesterday, and this is something that when he said it, people started to go, what in the hell? Because again, I think Cardinal fans think they are going to get one of the big boys, and this is what Denton said. Let's see, Plowhawk, we are looking for soundbite number one.
I think Snell and Yamamoto will definitely be out of there out of their ballpark. I know they like Nola. He fits the bill of the Cardinals. 6'6", right-handed. That sounds like somebody who maybe just left the team. I think Nola could fit into that range, but they don't know what the market's going to be. One caveat in this is, you have to understand, the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Mets, the Cardinals, teams that are traditionally used to winning, used to spending money, those teams didn't make the playoffs this year. They're hungry to flip the narrative. They're hungry to do whatever it takes. And, the Cardinals are never going to outbid any of those teams. This market could be crazy, and maybe they're not in the ballpark for those if the market, goes through the roof.
So when he said that, those who are listening to the show are like, what in the hell? Because, again, I think there is an expectation that the Cardinals will be in there. Now, just because John Denton opines that does not mean that that is the way it is. Keep in mind, 48 hours ago, Buster Olney opined that he thought the Cardinals were going to get Blake Snell. So it's not like anybody knows at this moment. But if you just do the math, and if the current payroll is $143 million, and the Cardinals are budgeting, which doesn't mean that's the hardline number. It's not like there's a cap for $200 million, and you were to allocate, take your pick of whatever number you'd want to throw out there to get Snell. And I don't know what do you think his AAV will wind up being?
35, maybe.
I would guess it's got a 3 in front of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now, with the other $27 million, you now have to get 2 other starters and bullpen help. It's not like the bullpen's sitting there and primed either. So you can do that via trade. The problem is, right now, who are you trading? I mean, in Derek's article later on, he talks about, interest from the Yankees and Carlson. Well, the Yankees are also one of the teams that need pitching. So what pitching are you going to get from the Yankees? They're not giving up Garrett Cole for Dylan Carlson. Cardinals are probably paying Garrett Cole anyway. Not that that's on the table. The Blue Jays have interest in... but what are the Blue Jays going to be giving up? So the Cardinals are in quite a spot. So then who do the Cardinals land on? Plowhawk? Here is question 2, and I made the observation of John Denton that the Minnesota Twins announced that they would most likely be lowering payroll.
Yeah, I found that to be very, very significant news yesterday. Minnesota's saying that they're going to go down in payroll. You would think that pretty much knocks them out of Sonny Gray. I mean, the qualifying offer was $20 million, and it's only going to go up from there. So Sonny Gray, just turned 34 yesterday. He's probably going to start at $25 million a year. It's going to be crazy money. Jordan Montgomery has pitched his way into a $25 million a year contract. So it may not be the top tier, but I think the Cardinals are. Who knows where they're going with this? But I think they think if they could come out of this with a Sonny Gray and a Jordan Montgomery, that they would be better off.
$25 million a year for 34-year-old Sonny Gray.
I'm out on both, if that's the case.
$25 million a year for Jordan Montgomery.
Yeah, I love the Montgomery idea.
So if that is just for the sake of because we got to stick to math, now there's your $50 million, and now you have $7 million, and you still, unless you're going take your pick of Liberatore, Dakota Hudson, then you have Matson Michaelis, and now you also have $7 million to tend to a bullpen that needs tending to. And of course, you can go trade, but if you keep talking about O'Neill and Carlson, if we're going to be honest about it, this isn't like fantasy baseball where you can you can float it, I suppose, but other teams aren't going to go, good, let us give you one of our best pitchers for Tyler O'Neill. It's just not the way that it realistically works. Plus, you only have $7 million to work with. And I'm not saying they own there's a cap. I'm just saying if you're from a budgeting standpoint, this is how it starts to play out mathematically. And that is undeniable. The math is not, just some kind of, the Cardinals got to do this. They owe it to the fans. You're welcome to say all of that stuff, but here is how the math works. And that is why I hammer away at what I think was just a potentially disastrous move for years with Contreras. You identified, for whatever reason, you needed a catcher. Fine. Okay. But then you gave a guy who wasn't going to get the kind of deal that he got, the price, AAV, and the duration of that contract, and then he wasn't your catcher for, even 100 games. And you had concerns about his defense and ability to call a game that you yanked him from the spot in May, and now you're trying to bring back Yadier Molina to help him work. That's huge when he's making as much as he is if we start to price through this. So Sonny Gray and Jordan Montgomery. And then would there be a 1-year reclamation project out there who could make sense? Plowhawk, soundbite 3. This will get some people really excited, Doug. Would there be a 1-year opportunity for a reclamation project of some kind to fill out the rotation if they are able to get 2 of the, I guess we'll call them bigger names? Would there be a candidate in that category that would make sense?
Tim, could I interest you in a guy named Jack Flaherty?
I was wondering if you would say that. My goodness, if the Cardinals only brought in Sonny Gray and Jack Flaherty, I just am going to spend all off-season reading your Twitter mentions.
Yeah, that's going to be ugly if that happens. Now, they know they've got to do more than that. They know they've got to land a couple of big pieces. But there are guys, Michael Wacha, you probably could get him for 2 years, bring him back. Jack Flaherty, pitched his way into probably a 1-year or 2-year deal. He's going to have to do a prove-it type deal before he lands the kind of money he's looking for. So John Mazzaro did say on Monday, one of the things that excites him is there are a lot of tiers here. There's obviously the upper crust. There's that second level, but there's also the 1-year prove-it guys, the 2-year prove-it guys, So they can do a lot of different things. And the reason they're casting a big net, they're not saying we want this guy or that guy because they don't know what the market's going to be. They don't know what the demand's going to be.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't think he can go the Flaherty route again. I mean, he got hurt, unfortunately, and he's just not very good anymore. He was on pace to be a stud, a superstar.
Oh, yeah.
But he got hurt, and now he's not very good. You're going to have to come to grips with that, I think, or let somebody else figure that out.
The funny thought of having Wacha and Flaherty in the same rotation in 2024 would actually be mind-blowing.
Now, have you seen what Wacha did the last 2 years?
He's fantastic. No, I'm just saying,
if you don't know,
it's unreal.
This year he was 14-4 with a 3.22 ERA with San Diego. The year before, 11-2 with a 3.32 ERA with Boston. How many pitchers have a better one-loss record than that? Not that one loss is that important, but the ERA is good. Now, he had some rough years for sure before that, but it certainly looks like he's healthy and dealing right now. And he was 31. It's not like he's 35, 36, or 7. Seems like he's been around forever.
Wacha will be 33 on July 1st. I like
this
the...
just says he's 31, what I'm looking at.
Birthday, July 1st, 1991. What I would love, actually, for the Cardinals is to do a bunch of, low-year deals. If you're not going, the one that I would love for them to get for baseball reasons and also age reasons, and potentially it opens them up to the Asian market, is Yamamoto. But I just don't know how realistic that is, and that might be like 1% or less for that matter. But he's 25. And then that way you are tending to 2024, but you're not necessarily going only 2024. What I worry is they're going to try to save 2024 and then make deals like the Contreras one that they will be paying for in 2026 and 2027. And that is where I get concerned.
Let me throw a name at you.
Doug, here we go.
Out there.
Let's just say, and we probably know, they're not going to get Snell. They're not going to get Nola. They're not going to get anybody that they have to outbid a team for. Eduardo Rodriguez, Detroit. Detroit sucks. They're not going anywhere. I think he signed through 2026.
He opted out. He's a free agent.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
When did that happen?
A week ago.
Oh, well, so much for that then. Well, go sign him then.
That makes it even easier.
I was going to trade him to Detroit.
I mean, let me make 100% sure I'm correct on that.
And
but
I think he was only making.
He remember, if you remember at the trade deadline, he was traded to the Dodgers and refused to go because most people want to stay in Detroit when presented with the opportunity to go to Southern California.
Yeah, but then he opted out. Well, I think he's making $15-16 million a year, and he was signed through 2026, so he's a free agent. Had a good year last year. He had one bad year, but up until then, he had like 3 or 4 good years.
Yeah, I would think
He's
it'd
only
be
30.
guys like that they wind up with. That'd be my guess.
I was going to give him Luden Baker. They need a first baseman, and Miguel Cabrera's retiring. And some other people, but you don't have to worry about that now. He's a free agent. I should probably keep track of the Hot Stove League.
Clip that off. John Morosi tweeted this out yesterday. Eduardo Rodriguez has informed teams he has no geographic restrictions in free agency. That's encouraging for the Dodgers and Giants, who are already active on starting pitchers. Notably, the Dodgers traded for Rodriguez at the deadline, and then he exercised his no trade clause. So I guess there's a thought process that he didn't want to play out on the West Coast.
Why in the world wouldn't you want to go to one of the best teams in
I
baseball?
recall it was a family thing. I was watching MLB Network that day on the trade deadline, and that was a big story that he was not going to waive his no trade clause to go to the Dodgers. So I don't know. So I guess that's newsworthy. But yes, anyway, Iggy, he's a free agent.
Go get him, Cardinals.
I'll tell you one thing. I'm looking at next year's free agent class, and it's garbage. Like, absolutely garbage. So if I think the only worry about your short-term rentals, are, like, what are you going to get in the next year? Like, if those guys don't pan out, or if they have a good year and you got to pay, that one-year deal turns into a 3 or 4 year contract and you can't afford it, then you go to the 2025 class and you got nothing.
Maybe I'm off the mark, because certainly, Doug, when we were covering the late 90s and early 2000s baseball, it felt like, and certainly it was in large part because of the New York Yankees, but also then running parallel to the Yankees' success that began in 96 and really carried through the 2001 World Series, even though they came up short in that ninth inning. But then kind of had a random ALCS with the Twins and the Angels in 2002, but then it was Yankees-Red Sox in 03, Yankees-Red Sox in 04. The White Sox snuck in 05. Tigers then had their run against the Cardinals in 2006. But the Yankees and Red Sox, it felt like you could buy a championship. Mm-hmm. In 2023/2024, because in part the luxury tax, but also the cost of the players' salaries and the size of the contracts, even New York has to be careful, that you have to be able to essentially have two parts working together, and that is you have to have a system, and whether that system's producing your offensive players or your starters or your bullpen or all, and then you have to be able to hit on free agency. So in the case of the Rangers, whereas most people this year focused on free agent starting pitching, well, what did they do? They went out and got Corey Seager and Marcus Semien, and they rebuilt their middle infield, and they had a great year, and that was without the dollars they allocated for Jacob deGrom providing any return. They did get great return on Nathan Eovaldi, and they also had a bullpen that was able to come through, in particular in October, as did the Diamondbacks, even though their regular season wasn't anything in particularly special. But they have a young guy by the name of Corbin Carroll who's apparently going to be a star. I mean, he's Rookie of the Year. The Cardinals at this moment don't have that on the pitching side, and it's really not close. That doesn't mean that it won't be there in 2025, but it won't be there in 2024. Mozeliak acknowledges that, and yet Paul Goldschmidt is up after next year. And so then, going back to what Iggy said, not the Eduardo Rodriguez thing, but Paul Goldschmidt, why not trade him? It would make all the sense in the world, except if when you walk into that ballpark, you see one of two jerseys, essentially, now with Wainwright, Pujols, and Molina gone, Goldschmidt or Arenado, and that drives attendance. If Goldschmidt's not there, it sends a message that this team isn't necessarily looking to compete in 2024, even if it would be the right thing to do. Now, Goldschmidt, this always is overshadowed by if Goldschmidt and Arenado say, we're not going anywhere, then that takes that off the table. But Paul Goldschmidt wanted to get out of Arizona because he didn't think they were going to compete. And Arizona's been to one more World Series than the Cardinals have been in since Paul Goldschmidt got here.
We were close this year.
Give or take.
I guess you'd have to do the math. I mean, when do you decide you're out of it? I mean, unless you really suck early and you're 10 games out in May or whatever, depending on when you would trade him. But when they start sucking and they're not competing, people aren't going to come anyway. You saw at the end of last year, they were averaging 13,000 in that stadium. Well, how much are you going to save by keeping Goldschmidt? Who else can't show up? And you save what? Half his salary, so you're going to end up saving $14, $15, $16 million by trading him. If you only got 14,000 people, 15,000 showing up anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things they got to figure out.
Mr. Tim, I want Yamamoto too. That's from the 314. It's not from Brian Henson. I think he's the only one who calls Mr. Tim. Snuck in, the 2005 White Sox team was a buzzsaw. It's from Sesame Timbers. I wasn't saying they snuck into the playoffs. That was a different playoff format anyway than the NCAA tournament that Major League Baseball now operates in October. I was talking about in between the Yankees and Red Sox run that you had the White Sox sneaking in for a year, not the caliber of the Chicago White Sox. And on behalf of everybody here at TMA, I would like to apologize to those on the south side of Chicago who may have misunderstood what I was trying to say.
You've done them wrong, Tim.
When I talked about Cliff Polite's bunch?
Yeah.
They're a Banty bunch over there.
The south side?
Yeah.
I love Ken math. Just word vomit numbers and then claim it don't matter. That's from Gummy.
Come on.
I didn't hear any Ken math.
They hear what they want.
Is that right? Let's be honest. We're going to sign Alex Wood, Lucas Giolito, and Randall Grichuk. The blockbuster offseason deal will be adding Yachty to the bench, and the B-Fibs will show up $3 million proud to watch us suck ass. This team sucks!
Oh.
Sell him to Wallet! It's from little Tommy Tribbins, and he's angry out in the parking lot, right off Olive.
I think Giolito, I brought him up the other day, is probably the best option in terms of what you're probably looking to spend, what you are looking in terms of just inning, eating, and production if he's healthy. It's not a $20 million a year pitcher, and probably not a 6-7 year deal either.
Just
even in
mediocre
this rank,
starting pitchers are 18 to 20 million now.
I don't.
Michaelis is.
Yeah, I mean, God, you're probably right. Matz makes 10. That's the ball. Like that should
Is
be
that
the
all he
bar
makes?
for any
He-
pitcher. 10 or 11, yeah.
But that's for a guy who really doesn't pitch.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Well, for people that read these media reports, I forgot who. No, I'm not talking about Derek Gould. I forgot who tweeted it the other day.
Okay.
When they signed that 20 or that 30-year-old guy's pitched one game in the major leagues, said, he'll be serviceable out of the bullpen. Wow, serviceable out of the bullpen? How do you know? He's pitched once in the major leagues, and he's got an ERA of about 8. He's 30. Now people read that and say,
serviceable to me.
"Okay, well we're taking care of the bullpen." No, you're not.
I think you'll see a lot of guys from their AAA organization and AA organization fill in that bullpen. So I think they like Libator. I think Libator is great in that position. You got Thompson potentially, and you got McGreevy, and I forgot who the other guy. I can't pronounce his name.
Still got Helsley.
Coles.
Still stay healthy.
Yeah, Coles. That's it. And the C always messes me up.
It does. It throws everybody off.
But so I mean, I don't know if you have to spend big money on the bullpen. A guy can transition from starting to bullpen. It's the opposite that's the tough one. So like, I think you allocate your money strictly to starting pitching, and you can. If you have 6 or 7 starters, you only need 5 of them. The other 2 can kind of trickle in for long relief.
So either way, for the purpose of the conversation, we're kind of laying out the math, and also, I mean, I don't know how many people who will be upset about the Cardinal offseason are reading Derek's article or listening to what John Denton had to say. And I say that because I think, and I could be wrong, that the expectation for Cardinal fans is that they are going to get Snell or Nola. Again, I don't think Yamamoto is necessarily on the mainstream Cardinal fan radar, but that would be the one that I would love to see. I just don't necessarily expect it. And hey, that'd be great. He's 25 years old. But if/when that doesn't happen, if/when the Ohtani domino falls, which will then, I believe, be the first move that then opens up the bidding, because why, if you are, an agent representing Snell or Nola, do you go, let's try and move our clients before Ohtani, because once those teams lose out on Ohtani, then they can allocate those dollars to bid on Snell or Nola. That's when I think the Cardinals start to get involved, if they are going to be involved, that those players go somewhere else. If that were to happen, then I think, outside of the Cardinals and the issues they have, then you have the fans who I believe will, if the Cardinals don't get one of those guys, start raging. And they're already angry. They were angry going into the year. Then you have a 71-win season, and then you have an off season in which Cardinal fans are under the impression that they're going to get one of those guys. I think Nola in particular. And if he doesn't come here, and then it does become Sonny Gray, I don't know who else, that they're going, what in the hell is this? Even though the Cardinals are acknowledging they need to do something to bring the fans back in the ballpark. So they got a hell of a spot on their hands here. Maybe I'm off, by the way.
It'd be nice if Nootbaar could recruit Ohtani, and the Cardinals could sign him as a DH for this year, and then a pitcher the following years, because he's apparently not going to pitch in 2024. Then you'd have a star headline player. Then you could trade Goldschmidt if you're worried about the star appeal in the fan base, and save that money maybe. Put Baker there if you had to. Coming off the year he just had at AAA, he probably deserves a shot. Just dreaming, just thinking out loud here. But if you sign a superstar like that, I think you'd be less leery about dealing either Arenado or Goldschmidt.
I would agree with that. I mean, the idea of that happening is, that's
Well, I can
another
dream.
Well, I understand. That'd be other.
And we got
worldly.
Nootbaar to recruit him.
I just don't know what the upside is in keeping Goldschmidt and Arenado on a 75-80 win team. Is my whole thing. If the Bailey's thing is an issue and you're cutting back on spending, you're probably not going to win 90, 95 games, and you're probably not going to make a deep playoff run. So
you could virtually have all-stars at every position, but if you don't have any pitching, you're not going to win.
So that's my thing. Like, I think if there's value in trading one or the other or both, I think it's better for the organization as opposed to making sure those two are happy. I agree they have to agree to the trade, but I don't know why it's such a need to keep those two here if we're clearly not ready financially to compete.
Well, I mean,
long-term.
that's what Iggy asked earlier on, and what Mozeliak is saying. They need to have people go into the ballpark, short term. I mean, that's why this is such an issue.
But they're going to. I mean, they blindly go every year in and year out.
Well, I mean, they didn't though at the end of the year. And then I think there would be even more anger if they didn't do something this offseason. Now, listen, I think they should do something this offseason. I think they should sell. But if that's not going to happen, then they're going to make a patchwork rotation. And even Sonny Gray, who just turned 34 and could be in their plans, because, again, the Minnesota Twins, in a savvy marketing move, said that they are reducing their payroll, even though they're fresh off of winning a playoff series, that he'll be out there, then okay, fine. But it's not like Sonny Gray coming off a really good year is going to go, okay, I get it, I'm 34, I will take a 1-year, $25 million deal. You're going to be allocating a healthy amount of money to him. Jordan Montgomery, who when the Cardinals got him, I was super excited about it. But I didn't view him as a guy who would, starting at the end of 2023, would be on a $25 million per year deal. But that is what he was able to do in Texas, and in particular in the postseason. I mean, he was a big reason why they got past the Astros. So he's going to be making a lot of money.
I wonder if the Twins might not be the only team that's going to reduce payroll. The others,
I would agree.
The others might not announce it, but perhaps we're seeing the beginning of the bubble where teams worried about
the Twins are one of the Bailey's teams.
Yeah, where other teams worried about that, and baseball ratings being down in most markets, and people just looking at these ridiculous salaries of guys who sometimes don't contribute much of anything and saying, it's nuts. We're going to stop doing this. We're going to stop throwing $40 million a year at guys who are 38, 39 years old.
This is going to be the stupidest thing I've ever said.
Oh, I'm ready.
And I would ask the question at a press conference. If the Cardinals signed Ohtani, big news, they signed Ohtani, have a press conference. First question I was asked is, you really didn't take care of your pitching next year. What are you going to do?
Mike, did you say a tough loss today? Tough loss today, yeah.
Yeah, your big thing in the offseason was pitching. You didn't take care of it. You didn't address it.
Well, but you'd still be getting a big-time home run hitter and a front-of-the-rotation pitcher, supposedly after this year.
Yeah, like I said, it'd be the stupidest thing I've ever said, but they wouldn't be good next year because they got no pitching.
Like I said,
I think
at
the stupidest thing you ever said was freeze Lakaka.
I don't know. The mom thing probably took that one.
You don't have a mom because you're not married? Was that it?
Yeah. How would that go over?
First of all, you don't have a mom because you're not married, so
Doug,
your kids don't have that mom that you're dating.
How would that go
I think
over
that's
the press?
dumber than the Ohtani thing.
How would that go over to press conference? Mo stand there beaming Ohtani holding a jersey, and I go, really didn't take care of your pitching needs this year, did you?
Sometimes, this is kind of off subject, sometimes I go to a sauna at the gym. It's not as hot there as it is in this studio right now.
I am messing with this thing to try to get it right. I don't know what to do.
I barely touched it was on the very lowest. I don't even know what heat setting in. Just they're just a knob.
Nobody's here yet.
There's no arrow to the knob either. You don't know which. It's the same.
Oh, Iggy, that opening that door has just saved our lives, I think.
I've lost 4 pounds. So
It's
far
so
this
hot in here. I don't understand how it's possibly this hot. Well, there's all this, no vents, no window.
Yeah.
They're
trying to smoke us out of our hole.
Heat from the bathroom, I'm telling you.
Who is giving 40-year-olds $40 million deals? Your
Mets.
baseball takes are 20 years ago hot takes. That's from Big Ol' Fan, and he's not happy.
The Mets just did with both Verlander and Scherzer.
Big Ol' Fan, the action's back on you.
I said it at the very beginning, and it sounded stupid. It probably still. I think the DeWitts. This is if you ever wanted to sell, this is the time to do it. You're going to have buyers. The appeal of owning a team. They're going to make out like bandits. I mean, obviously, we know the story about how much they paid in selling the parking lot. And if DeWitt the third isn't fully invested in it, look where baseball's taking a turn. You're not
I
for
think
sure
he
what-
is, though.
No, I'm saying if. I said if. I have no idea.
If you're him, and you can see that at some point, probably within the next 10 years, this is going to be your team, why in the world would you not want to do that?
But where will baseball be? I think that's still up in the. I'm not saying it's going to be completely dead, but
No,
how are
it
they?
won't be.
They still can't figure out how to get baseball to people to watch it. Like that in 2024. It's almost 2024. At some point, I think they're just
Well, I've watched almost every game for the last 20 years.
on a bankrupt app. I mean, I can't get it.
Well, I just watch it on cable.
I'm not sure it's the Cardinals' fault. I mean, they didn't know Bailey's was going to suck and go bankrupt when they signed the deal.
They'll get that worked out at some point.
Oh, I didn't say it was anybody's fault. I just think if I'm the ownership and I'm looking at how baseball is right now, looking at the viewership, looking at how contracts are, and people aren't filling up the stadiums hardly at all outside of the traditional teams.
Well,
I would be very interested in getting a couple billion for a team I paid, a couple $100 million for.
Cardinals would be very happy to just start their own network and make all the money themselves.
Not necessarily. I have asked about that. I would love that personally. And I think it is something that they are considering, but with that comes risk. And I just don't know. I mean, the Cardinals haven't necessarily displayed behavioral patterns that indicate taking on substantial risk. Personally, though, I would love it. I mean, if you had a network that had, classic Cardinal games, like 30 for 30 kind of shows on the Cardinals, in addition to the games, obviously it would be, rights holder stuff. But, as far as having that, I think that would be wonderful. But St. Louis, of course, isn't New York, where you have Yes and SNY. Anybody else? Is the Cubs thing a whole network, or is it just a marquee network? Is that what it is?
I'm not sure.
Is that what it is?
Yep.
And is that like Cubs programming 24 hours?
Pretty sure.
Is that okay? Yeah, I mean, but again, that's Chicago. I'd love it because the Cardinals, I mean, yes, St. Louis isn't a big market in comparison, but the Cardinal interest level is geographically huge, so it can appeal beyond the metropolitan area. So I
Brad
would love
Thompson
it.
could crank out more programming with
He
Fred
could.
Bird.
He could indeed.
Ozzie Smith has got a show on there sometime.
On a home run by the Wizard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could do a Where Are They Now, interview former Cardinals. And
I like that.
Well, these are former players that are doing it.
What?
These are former players they have producing content for them right now.
Yeah, but you can't do it all. If you're
Well,
going to be on
there's a lot of
24
former
hours,
players.
you're going to be on 24 hours.
Okay.
I'm sure I could do a better interview than Andy Bennis could.
Yeah, I
Andy
guess so.
Bettis takes a hit out of nowhere.
As I think it through more, I think they're probably eyeballing you as someone that could put this network,
I'm
a guy
available.
around which to build.
I'm available if you decide to get your own network. I'll help you out.
Nice. So that's out there now. The bigger question for Triple Sticks isn't where baseball will be in a decade. It's where in the county will the team be moving and how they will handle that Ballpark Village investment. Doug, that's Alan. He's in Dadeville, and I would imagine he likes the Bulldogs laying 10.5 this week. That's what I would imagine he likes.
Well, I used to think that too, but they seem fully invested downtown. They're
No
even
way
talking
they
about
leave
building
now.
another tower.
No way they leave now.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to move the ballpark after all the money they spent in doing Ballpark Village and the
I don't know.
apartments.
I'll be shocked
condos.
if the Cardinals are playing in downtown St. Louis in 2050. Shocked.
Bush 2 lasted, 40 years?
We got, Doug, what's that, 66?
66 to 2005 was their
yeah.
last year. And we're already coming up on 20 now. if they hadn't built the ballpark village, I would say I don't think they're going to be around much longer in downtown. But since they have that going also, I think they'd be really reluctant at this point to say, scrap all that.
Right, but 2050. That's what I'm
who knows by then?
Right, that's what I'm saying. I just don't. I mean, but hey, you know what? If they are, and if maybe St. Louis and downtown's experienced some kind of resurgence, certainly short term, you would go, well, that ain't going to happen. But who knows what could wind up transpiring? Poor Ken. Fellas, his apartment complex is clearly trying to get rid of him. They keep raising his rent and moving him to smaller apartments. And then he comes to work in a drywall bathroom stall, which management is now trying to essentially smoke you out like a bunch of hold-up train robbers.
Oh.
The guy isn't welcome anywhere. The only place the guy is welcome is around an office fountain on Saturdays. That's from Arbor Day, making observations.
Well, I don't know. I mean, if they wanted to get rid of me, they wouldn't have let me. They wouldn't have given me an option to sign a lease. They just say, we're not presenting with a new lease. We need you to leave.
Why would they want to get rid of you?
There's just people saying that. They don't want to get rid of me. I'm a great tenant. I've been there for 20-something years. I'm just not happy that without seeing the apartment next door that I'm moving into, I did it because I got to move 20 feet.
And they told you had to move.
Well, yeah, because they said the pipes are going to break and they need to dig up the whole kitchen and hallway, so I can't live there when that's going on. And that's the same reason I had to move 3 years ago, because of the pipes.
No, what they're doing, Iggy, it's a scam. They're going to do a fresh coat of paint and then put that up on the market for $150 more a month. They're going to pocket a couple thousand, an extra $1,500.
Well, I don't know.
A year. Oh, it's 100%.
How do you know
what
if
they
the
do.
pipes are going to break before they break?
Exactly, Doug. Like, trust me, tenants will believe anything. Not offense to Iggy. I've been scammed by landlords a lot.
Well, this isn't a landlord. This is a company that owns like 50
Well, the
apartment
companies are worse
complexes.
than landlords because they
But they
have
did.
8 landlords above
My
them.
last apartment, I did see them go in there, and they were digging that excavation and everything in there, so they did have to do the pipes. The thing I don't like is that my neighbor, whose apartment I'm moving into, his lease was up about the same time as mine, and he got his, and his was $110 less than mine, his rent.
Why?
Well, he didn't say. He says, I don't know why it's cheaper. I think he said something about the bathroom. He said the bathroom's smaller or something. So I started moving in without looking at the apartment, and I have a huge walk-in closet in the place I'm living now. So I have a lot of clothes. And I looked at the new closet. I can't get a third of my clothes in this closet.
Yeah, that's what you said. You're in trouble. That's why you're giving them away.
So I shouldn't be paying the same rent as I'm paying in my other apartment.
Wouldn't think, no.
So I've sent a couple emails. Nobody's come back to me, but it's not fair that I had to throw away, like Cletus took 3 bags yesterday, and I gave him a lot of golf stuff. But I threw away 3 bags of clothes. Now, granted, within 10 minutes they were gone in front of the dumpster. So somebody in that place has gone from Hoosier to Preppy in about 10 minutes. But I don't like that. I have to pay the same amount of rent. My closet is. I had to throw away a third of my clothes.
So there's
two-thirds
a
of my clothes.
prepster who's dumpster diving in Maryland Heights to find this.
Well, I mean, I threw some polos away and some nice pullovers and things I just, I didn't have room in the closet.
How the hell are we doing this again? It's from the millennial.
Well, Arbor Day asked a question and I answered. How about that?
Yeah.
They're likely slowly converting the entire complex to a sanctuary for middle-aged men waiting on divorce, said some glove blogger Tom Traven. Is that a business model for places?
Probably should be.
I don't know. They had a lot of people go to work for Worldwide Technology, which is like half a mile from the complex, so a lot of those people needed places to move in when they came in and hired them, so maybe that's it. But I don't know. I don't know the downside. I just know that I'm a good tenant. I never complain, and I'm just not happy that they're not adjusting my rent after I have to go through all this problem of moving for the second time in 3 years, and they've really done nothing for me.
Well, we advised you to move out before you signed this last lease, based on the deals
You did, but I can't afford it. First month, last month, the security deposit, that's, talking like $4,000 or $5,000 just to move.
Good morning. I agreed to a deal with no due diligence whatsoever, and now I realize it's not a good deal. That's unfair. That's the ghost gerbil.
Yeah, you're right. I've known my neighbor for 2 years and never been in his apartment. Probably should have went and taken a look.
Yeah, before you moved in, you didn't even walk around to look at it?
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us live in the Michelob Ultra Studios, Jackson Burkett with a fan. Fans in the stands clapping their hands.
Gotta find an electrical outlet to plug it in.
With the open, I think we're good, Jackson. But what a nice gesture.
I'm thinking when the
9 o'clock.
Yeah, but I think we got the air going. I feel like there's.
I think this is a great idea, and I like one of the funny things ever. Jackson just walks in with a big fan.
Big old fan, a big old fan, Doug.
He's a super player, man.
Is that a no noise fan?
Oh, it doesn't matter about the noise. I don't think it would be so faint. You good?
Yeah. All right.
I have this.
Continue.
Okay.
You're gonna have to find a way to prop it up, otherwise the fan's gonna be blowing at our feet.
I have this.
No, I got it.
Do you want to set
adjustable?
Anyway, this guy better come pick up these Playboys today. I'm going to be pissed. He didn't come yesterday. He said, I'll be there tomorrow. I got 4 boxes in my
Just
living room
simply-
sitting there waiting to come get him.
He's not coming.
He'll be coming.
Sorry,
Throw them
dude.
away.
Bill. Sorry,
I'm
dude.
home.
Had work stuff to do, man. Can I get him tomorrow? Yeah.
Now, why is that such a big ordeal? It's just sitting in a box, right?
There's 4 of them.
Okay.
Well, I had to put him on the dolly because I thought he was coming, so he could just dolly him out to the thing, and he didn't come, so it's taking up a dolly.
We'll take him off the dolly.
And then they're taking. There's no room to move the dolly because they're taking up a space where I move. Don't worry about it. He just needs to pick them up today,
Or
they're going in the trash, I guess.
oh, there goes another $50. Well,
Yeah, there's.
He gave it to me for 9 innings.
Tim saw it. I brought
Just ran. I'm telling you, up one side, down the other side. For 9 innings, he gave it to me.
I didn't throw everything away, Tim. I brought in some retro bowling shirts today, too. So.
Yep, I posted a video of that on the TMA fan page on Facebook. If you're not a member, click to join. Jackson and I'll tend to that within the next couple of years. And you can see the video of these bowling shirts.
They're brand new. They're not my trash. They're brand new shirts.
Brand new, really?
Yeah, I've never. Every year for Gobble Bowl, this guy who makes these bowling shirts in St. Louis gives me like 10. And I just had so many to give away, and they're in my closet. And I said, I'll bring them in. They've never been used.
why don't you give them away at Gobble Bowl?
I do, but he gives me more than I need. So I brought them in for the staff if anybody wants them. Last time I brought some in, they all went in like 10 minutes.
Did they? Okay.
So help yourself, staff.
Nice. Doug, I'd like to help myself to a dollop of James Carlton. That's what I would like
Just
to help
a
myself.
dollop? Gosh, I don't like how that sounded.
I talked to James yesterday. He's a wonderful gentleman. He's my insurance agent. He has been for about 4 years now. James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency in Webster Groves presents the Colonel on Mondays on TMA and the Colonel on Fridays on Balloon Party. His number is 314-961-4800, or you can go online at carltoninsurance.net. They're located in Webster Groves. The customer service has gotten them 330 plus 5-star reviews on Google Reviews. Why, you ask? Well, because they go out of their way to be proactive with the clients. They're proactive with the clients.
That's what you mean by a dollop.
That's why I want a dollop.
Okay.
A dollop will do you. That's what I say. James Carlton. That's a new slogan. I'll see if he wants to use that. A dollop will do you. James Carlton. carltoninsurance.net. Or give them a call at 314-961-4800. Doug, tell the people who is the title sponsor of this program.
Brown and Crouppen will be the title sponsor.
Bill.
If you have a potential personal injury case, Brown and Crouppen is the local law firm that is here to serve you. Terry Crouppen, Andy Crouppen, Ed Herman, they've all been in our studio. Wonderful guys. They run the law firm, and they have many lawyers also. Any kind of issue that you might have arise, they've got the lawyers to serve you. They've been around a long time in St. Louis. The firm was founded in 1979 right here. They are the local guys. They know all the ins and outs of St. Louis, unlike some of the national advertisers that are coming in now and trying to pretend that they're local guys. Brown and Crouppen are St. Louis through and through. They've just opened that new business there, the new office down on the hill that they're very proud of. They offer superior legal services, and they value their client services as well. Brown and Crouppen, a big part of the community, and they value that. They're involved in many charities and community events, everything from Annie Malone and Sister Strut to Stray Rescue. Here's the good part. They'll give you a free evaluation. You don't know, do I have a case? Do I not have a case? You call them, and they can let you know. It doesn't cost anything. They work on a contingency basis, no upfront cost to you. If they don't get paid, you don't get paid. Other way around. If you don't get paid, they don't get paid. They've won more than $1 billion in compensation for their clients. So if you think you may need Brown and Crouppen services, call. Here's the phone number. It's an easy one. 314 and then a lot of twos. 222 2222.
Nice.
314-222-2222. Or you can also go to brownandcruppen.com. Make sure to let them know you heard it here on TMA. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements. Past results are no guarantee of future results, and every case is different and must be judged on its own accord.
Like this gear that we are wearing, the Plowhawk and I are matching cute boys. That's what we're being called.
If you didn't
Jackson's wearing it too.
All three
Matching
wearing it.
cute boys.
Right.
Get something like this, the Some People Like Things and Some People Don't Like Other Things hoodie and t-shirt, available at tmastlshop.com, tmastlshop.com. Lots of wares in there at tmastlshop.com. Get your hoodies for the fall time is here. Now at tmastlshop.com. We will close out our Mug and Ass St. Louis Acura Alton Toyota, 7 o'clock hour. You are listening to TMA, presented by Brown and Crouppen from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
Rosalitas know that a fun happy hour and scenic patio go together like fresh guac and chips. So take advantage of their covered patio this fall and winter at their De Pere location and enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6. Their sparkling margarita is made with Chambord raspberry liqueur and topped with a bottle of Rosé Prosecco. They also have a variety of delicious margarita flavors, including mango, pomegranate, and blood orange, all made with top-shelf tequila and Cointreau. With phenomenal service, great margaritas, and a breathtaking atmosphere, there's always a reason to come to Rosalitas.
I get asked all the time by people, if I'm in an accident, what should I do? And while yes, you should call the police, exchange insurance information, and take pictures of the scene, all those things are important. But the most important thing you need to do is hire a personal injury lawyer. This is Doug Biggs from Longo Biggs Injury Law. And if you've been hurt by someone else's negligence, don't take on the insurance company yourself. Insurance companies have teams of people and a playbook designed to keep you running in circles so they can pay you as little money as possible for your accident claim. If you don't have a lawyer, they know you can't bring your claim to court, and they will never give you full value. We recently took an offer from an insurance company without a lawyer on the case from $12,000 to $200,000. You can't get that kind of result without an attorney on your case. Even if you don't hire us, you need to hire a personal injury attorney. Check us out online at longobigs.com.
Bet like the pros with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circus Sports is now available in Illinois. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I've been a lifelong sports bettor and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. We're excited that the Circus Sports app is now ready for action. Experience big app bets with high betting limits, tight money line splits, and more. Now you can download, fund, and bet like a pro from anywhere in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
When we think of a real estate agent, we think of somebody simply selling our home or finding us a new one. I mean, they're all the same, right?
Okay, here's the comps. We'll take some pics, we'll post them, and I'll get back to you, okay?
A home is life-changing, and your real estate agent should reflect that. Honesty, integrity, and someone who will go above and beyond to make your dreams come true.
The Jeff Lotman Group with Compass Realty. We're different because you're different. We want what you want. Experience the difference today at jefflotman.com, bringing people and properties together.
Okay. Hot takes.
Yeah.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
And now the Pepperoncini Show with Darren Atkins and Ken Strode. All right, take it, fellas.
There it is. That's the open.
Pepperoncini.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
We don't know what it is. We don't understand the name. We just know it's stupid. And it's available every weekday, featuring Iggy and the Plowboy. Apparently it's some kind of a podcast or something. Available at tmastl.com and on the TMASTL mobile app. Whatever.
The choice of a lawyer is important and shouldn't be based on an ad.
After a serious car accident, people have two questions. Why me and what now? Well, no one knows why you, but I'm Terry Crouppen, and my law firm Brown & Crouppen sure can help with the what now. car repairs, medical bills, lost wages, pain and suffering. We're Brown and Crouppen, and we've got all those answers. All you have to do is call 222-2222.
TMA presents their second ever trivia night, November 11th at Tim's alma mater, St. Gabe's, starting at 7:30 p.m. A little different than last year. Not just TMA trivia, all trivia, sports, entertainment, STL centric, and a few rounds of TMA trivia thrown in for good measure. And it's hosted by Tim, Doug, Iggy, Plowsy, Action Jackson, and whoever else is on the show. You can purchase single tickets, tables of 8, or anything in between. Tickets are on sale now and are $45 a person. A portion of the proceeds from the event will go to St. Gabe's. Tickets include food from Salt and Smoke and all your Anheuser-Busch beer. But feel free to bring your own food and drink too. Another TMA Trivia Night, November 11th. Get more info and find out how to buy tickets at TMASTL.com.
TMA Trivia Night is brought to you by South City Sporting Goods.
Hey, this is Joe Buck. We all have people we miss and who we would do anything to see or hear again. Whenever I want to hear my dad's voice, all I have to do is go to YouTube, but most people don't have that luxury. Now with Sound Story, your family's stories can be saved forever. Sound Story is a professionally produced hour-long conversation in which you or one of your loved ones is interviewed by the host of your choice, including TMA's own Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, and Jackson Burkett. Hundreds of St. Louisans have already told their stories with Sound Story, and the experience is one they loved.
I think everybody that can do it, they should, for their children, for their grandchildren, because I know I would give anything to hear my parents' voice.
Visit mysoundstory.com today and use promo code TMA for 10% off your Sound Story gift certificate purchase. That's mysoundstory.com, promo code TMA for 10% off your Sound Story gift certificate purchase. Sound Story, for you, for them, forever.
Green Day present the Saviors Tour. Live in Maryland Heights.
Welcome
Hollywood
to
Casino Amphitheater, August 15th. Celebrating 30 years of Dookie and 20 years of American Idiot. Green Day with Rancid and the Linda Lindas. Get tickets this Friday at 10 a.m. at livenation.com. Green Day, the Saviors Tour, fueled by Monster Energy.
Hey, if you like the morning after, check out Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. HD1, by the way. It's sports talk with Tim McKernan and Action Jackson from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. each weekday, right after the morning after. It's the worst named show in the history of radio, but the content's pretty good, so check it out on 101 ESPN or get the podcast on the TMA app.
105.7 HD2. It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After.
We haven't played this one, by the way. Maybe we have.
So good.
Oh, it's a remix. Should have played this on Halloween. This was uploaded 3 weeks ago.
Where's this going?
It's like a Halloween mix of Cinderella.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just acoustic sessions bad, though. Ugh. Again, this was uploaded 3 weeks ago.
So this is new. Doug, this is new.
Wow.
New hit music.
120 views?
MJ Mills said, I can't hear the tune, boys.
Yeah, it's YouTube. And she's very strict about her rights to her music.
Walrus King says not allowed to play it on YouTube. Thanks, Walrus King.
Yeah.
Okay.
I bet it looked awkward just us like sitting here for a couple minutes.
Yeah, but we're hot. People could probably use it.
Cassie, she did a remix of Cinderella called Cinderella Ghost.
Oh, she got a new one, huh?
Well, it's like she put in Halloween sound effect to an original
Yeah, make
song,
it
so
a-
it probably
make
took
it-
5 minutes.
They get 100 views.
120 views.
That's it?
Been up for 3 weeks. It's early.
Well,
Nobody knows about
It is early.
I don't know. I was hoping for better than that for her.
You typically don't hit the 200 view mark in any video.
That's correct.
For the first month and a half of
Yeah,
uploads.
Mr.
so.
Beast, he waits for 200 views after about 2 weeks.
There are people who have
That's how
become stars just sitting in their own homes, cranking out songs that go viral.
Oh, 100%. Being a ghostwriter would be profitable.
You know that girl, teenage girl, singing the Stevie Nicks songs. You ever see those videos?
Lainey Gardner.
Lainey Gardner, not Lainey Wilson. Lainey Wilson's the country. Did she win Best Female Artist last night, Doug? She
And
did.
Best Entertainer of the Year also.
Lainey Wilson did.
For Ozarks?
What?
Wasn't she in Ozark?
Who?
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone.
Oh, Yellowstone, I'm sorry.
She looks like a different person than the person who was in Yellowstone. Am I right on that? Has anybody checked with
I
my
haven't
nurse?
seen
I
Yellowstone.
think she might have lost a little weight.
Well, she definitely lost weight.
Yeah. Well, Lainey Gardner.
She has an incredible voice, though.
She does. I saw her with Luke Combs this last year at Busch Stadium.
Oh, she was at Busch Stadium with Luke Combs? I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's outstanding.
Her voice is so
Very country.
Yeah, but I mean, but it's great.
Yeah.
And I've been following Lainey Gardner for a couple of years before anybody knew who she was.
Because when she talks, it's super, like, unless it's just Daniel Day-Lewis character, but I mean, that is how she talks. It's I guess it's like a Dolly Parton kind of thing.
Yeah, Reba McEntire, kind of exaggerated
Yeah, I
country,
know.
small town talk.
Lainey Gardner was just there, too. She opened for Jelly Roll.
Did she? She's the young girl that just.
She did
I guess
Dreams on
cell-phoned her own?
what were the TikTok, right? And it
Yeah.
blew up.
Stevie Nicks song, and it blew up. And now she's got an album out. Great country singer.
She was so good at. I thought she was lip syncing. I didn't think that can't be that girl.
No, she wasn't lip syncing. She's fabulous.
And
Guys,
there's
you
a
talk
guy-
about Lainey Spicer things. That's
No.
Wolf Boy.
No, Lainey Gardner.
And then there's the country singer who did the same thing. Who was that guy?
Oh,
You know
and Yellowstone?
No, not Yellowstone.
Oh, he's popular, too.
But he just did his own thing, like on YouTube, and he became a big star. I forget his name, but
Dane Fife.
yeah,
Dugan Fife.
No, Barney. I don't know the name of that. I'm sure a lot of people. He had some country song that just completely blew up.
Oh, yeah, the redhead guy.
Yeah.
The bearded guy. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I
Yeah.
forgot his name as well.
You don't need. You don't necessarily have to have an agent or a big record company behind you anymore.
Not at all.
Justin Bieber was found. He did a YouTube song on the piano and blew up.
Well, why don't we do more YouTube videos singing?
Yeah, we should. We got a new sign up here in the studio. Is it visible on the YouTube? Let me see.
Yeah, it's bright.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
there
you
it is
can
right
see it
over
on mine.
Plowhawk's head. Plowhawk, it looks like you've shrunk.
Right? Like, what happened here?
Is your chair, it doesn't seem like you're any lower than normal.
No,
They must have changed
Is it
the
just the camera to get the...
Probably.
Jackson, is that what happened, you think?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
Oh, thank
straightforward
you,
answer.
Jackson.
You need to raise your chair or lower the sign. One of the
No, I actually don't mind the... I mean, I don't want to cover the sign.
It's not only for the sign, it's for the Brian Crouppen sponsorship behind it.
Nice, Jackson. Very subtle play.
Could have put that sign over by Doug and it lit him up a little
Yeah.
Wow.
Wouldn't have been on camera. That was the key.
Well, right back here. I guess you wouldn't get the Brown and Crouppen on there then.
He got in a perfect spot.
Winona Judd quickly caught wind that fans were concerned over her CMA Awards 2023 performance last evening, and she swears she's just fine. The country singer took to Instagram. You like that, Doug? That people take to Twitter, they take to Instagram.
I'll let it go in this case.
And TikTok to address what many consider to be bizarre behavior during her duet with Jelly Roll after the star-studded show. Don't read the comments, they say. The 59-year-old captioned the post. In the video, she smiled and added, "Don't read the comments. I read the comments. I'm just going to come clean with y'all. I was so freaking nervous. I got out there and I looked at Jelly Roll. I wanted it to be so good for him. I could cry right now, but I'm not going to because I'm such a fan of his, and he asked me to sing, and I said, absolutely. I got out there, and I was so nervous that I just held on for dear life, and that's the bottom line."
Okay. You know, we forget that even though someone has been a star for many years and used to performing, they're still humans who have real human emotion.
I can relate. I was nervous at the Hot Shots TMA Live in 2021
Were you?
off of Dorset.
Yeah.
We had to give you Quaaludes.
We noticed something was different that night.
It was me. That was me right before we did a Foot Fetish Friday.
Or Robin painting. I forgot which one.
You and your mom
Both
are one of the
great.
most well-known duos in country music, and you're nervous.
He's going to hold her accountable.
Sure, there are people who are nervous.
Nervous in front of Jelly Roll?
Yeah, they're humans. It happens.
You would think Jelly Roll might be nervous in front of her, but
There are people, I read like Carly Simon, going way back, Carly Simon wouldn't do live for many years. 'cause
Joshua.
She was so afraid.
I hope Sandoval will only sing with like a very low-lit blue light in front of her, and she very rarely opens her eyes and looks at the audience because she's afraid.
I'm supporting Josh. Out of town supporting Josh. Yeah, I might as well support too.
Yeah.
I like how this drop is labeled might as well as one word. It's like it kind of.
What a system we have implemented. What's that, Tim? You're talking about Lainey Wilson? Well, that's cool, but I'm talking about Lainey Gardner. Oh, you're back on Lainey Wilson? Well, I've been listening to Lainey Gardner a long time. Yep, that's from the Ghost Gerbil.
I'm pretty sure somebody brought up Lainey Gardner, or Tim brought up, who's the girl that sang the Stevie Nicks song, and I said Lainey Gardner. So I answered Tim's question, but thank you for texting in.
Tim, I know you're talking about Lainey Wilson, but I'm going to crowbar Lainey Gardner into this conversation no matter how hard you try not to allow me to enter the Lainey Gardner talk.
Again.
Some Scott's wrinkled ballsack, not his wife.
Again, Scott, just go back and listen to what I just said 2 seconds ago.
You guys keep talking about Lainey Wilson. He just keeps trying to push you to Lainey Gardner. He started following her because she was cute and also 17 years old. She's very good, though, but her last few songs sucked. Doug, that's from the Lager Tequila list during the month Beer Cats.
So you're saying she's 19 years old now, which is wrong. So the age is wrong, and her new songs are really good. They don't suck, so... Of course,
Well, that's what separates those that make it big and those that don't. You got to come up with your own material.
Well, she did. Her new album is all her own songs.
And are they good?
And Beer Cats is just one of those music snobs that... Yeah, I'm listening to a band called Red Onion on Acid. What a great band, man.
Ready to go on the fan. New York Sports Radio. Lights on, lights on. He'll get you to sports any way that he can. It's Mike Francis on the fan. Sports Radio 66 and 101.
Hey, that
WFAN.
Why don't we have our own song?
Yeah, I mean, we got Jermaine Stewart, and it's worked. But, you know, maybe for year 20, Doug, we get a band to come in and do that.
I bet KG and O-Town could whip something up.
Uh-oh.
Can we get 30 seconds of Lainey Gardner with the aux on so then we can't get sued when we turn it off in 30 seconds?
Hello, St. Louis. You are listening to a very special edition of a one-week trial run.
That should have been a good one too. I mean, I can, but I would have to turn aux off. I don't want to.
Well, we got 30 seconds.
No, that's...
No? I thought you could play 30 seconds before you have to pay.
No. Not if we want to.
Jackson's trying to handle.
Well, I'm just trying to be diplomatic here, but that is not the rule.
The rule is you can't play any of it?
Not even a split second. Well, if you want to do what we do, can't do that.
And we entertain millions.
I guess. I mean, they want their stuff on
We
YouTube.
play a lot of stuff off of YouTube. Just don't have the aux on?
Correct.
Okay.
Plowsy is on fire today. That's from Hoosier Daddy. Plowhawk, when the compliments come in, I want to read them.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I forgot about that theme song. Man,
Not
That's
the
a good
Stevie
one.
Nicks, Lainey Gardner, just one of her new country songs. It's whatever you find up there.
What you have, Plowsy, is magic fingers.
Yeah, you do.
all of it right now is Fleetwood Mac covers. Maybe this one.
Okay, well, we'll just look.
We'll have a 15-second ad.
Okay.
That's all right. I'll tell people about the EDF group because they sponsor the text inbox, and, well, the people are really active in that text inbox right now. It's Engineer Design Facilities, heretofore known. I really like that. I know you have a problem
Heretofore,
with it.
yeah.
Heretofore known
necessary.
is the EDF group. And the name of the game, as our audience knows, is supporting the sponsors. How can a show that exists in a closet truly survive? Well, the audience supports the sponsors. That's it. That's all you got to do. And then we sit here and we provide wonderful, wonderful discussion, don't we?
Oh, I would think so. Lively, spirited.
Lainey Gardner, Lainey Wilson. Any Lainey will do.
Yeah, probably important discussion
Thank
more
you.
than anything else.
Do you want to support the EDF Group as a sponsor of TMA? It's real simple. If you have fire extinguisher where you work, where of course you do, email the EDF Group at fire at the edfgroup.com so a technician can come out and explain to your team how the EDF Group can save your company money. Again, that email address is fire at the edfgroup.com. The EDF Group is hot and will prevent your facility from having hot fires. Experience the EDF Group difference. Learn more at the edfgroup.com. Stop with the Lady Gardner stuff. That's from the Ghost Gerbil.
Well, we're not going to stop. Hit it, please.
She looked like Millie Bobby Brown.
She doesn't sound like a teenager either, does she?
No, she's not. Beercast doesn't know how old she is.
Oh.
She's fabulous.
109,000 views, so Cassie's just a little off.
She'll get there.
Yeah, it's the same song.
I think she's got close to 600,000 on YouTube, I think.
Yeah, she'll be
I'm
a big
sure.
star, if she's not already.
Doug, she was born on July 18th, 1999. That means she is 24, am I correct? Is that my nurse would be right on that?
I believe so, yeah.
But according to Beercast, when I found her 2 years ago, she was 17. So, again, another lie.
Oh. Well, the whole country kind of found her. Who was
Get back to the
scrolling through
catch-up and leave the music to
Facebook
us.
or wherever, Instagram.
Aaron with the nipple ring says 2 days in a row, Plow Puck has been on fire. Bravo, Twink. Aaron with the nipple rings.
Getting ready for the trivia night.
You feel like your fingers have found the zone?
Not quite. But I feel very good, getting the skeleton compliments, obviously getting the drop. I mean, that helps.
Look at you. You're having quite a day for yourself.
Yeah, the audience, Doug,
Appreciate
started
it.
in a positive mindset, continuing it on.
Yeah.
Who is this knockoff Carrie Underwood? That's from Brian Henson.
Uh-oh. That might get him. That might.
Not even close to Carrie Underwood.
Holy hell, turn this crap off. Stop letting the geriatric use this show as a place to spew his mental vomit. That's from Jenny, and her last name is Talia.
Gosh.
She is terrible, and big shocker that Iggy's into a teenage girl. That's from Lady Sonia's Teacup. Once again, she's 24.
My God.
I'm not a fan of nipple rings. That's from Sweet Sweet Kai.
Okay.
Oh, Aaron takes a shot.
Yeah.
Well, it's because I like it. So if I like it, here comes the... Hey, sucks. Don't know music, sucks.
Amen.
Well, you are having a big show, Paul.
Doug, say you like it. Doug, play it. And then
Yeah, I thought she sounded very
Doug
talented.
knows his music. That's great. Oh, Doug, thanks for turning me on to great music. Thanks, Doug.
Doug, Miss Lainey Wilson has a dump truck. Thanks, Sweet Sweet Kai.
Like Eli Drinkwitz?
No, he has a literal dump truck.
Oh.
Yeah, there was an image that she says might be exaggerated because of the angle of her backside, because she's now thin, but she has a wonderful ass.
Oh, does she?
Yeah. Would you describe it as voluptuous?
I don't know, and I'm not sure I've
Thought
seen
that was
it
something
enough
you get in your
comment on it.
anal region.
Oh.
What up, Jimmy?
She didn't get naked in Yellowstone, did she?
Nobody gets
I
naked
don't
in
know.
Yellowstone.
I don't know. I know she was great at Busch Stadium.
A couple people did.
Doug, 2 people did get naked. Not at Busch Stadium.
Did get naked.
His daughter got naked, got out of the hot tub, and just walked straight into the house.
Naked bodies.
How many people do you think have ever been naked at Busch Stadium? Besides
a
the players.
lot.
Besides the players. Fans.
Oh, a ton in the
We've
family
seen some
bathroom.
there have been some streakers, right?
Oh, that family bathroom. Once it's locked, you see a bunch of bros walk out, fixing their ties.
Huh.
Back in the old days, when they sucked and they only had like 8,000 people, there were people have sex up in the rafters.
Oh, they did not.
I saw a video.
I saw my mother-in-law without any clothes on this weekend.
Oh.
How'd she look?
I don't know what the follow-up was to that. I remember running the board on that.
Guys, the coke you do while touring as a country star will lead to weight loss. Thanks, that's from Uncle Cucker.
I think it probably the money she pocketed at post Yellowstone. She's probably like, I got a career on my hands.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Or the Ozempic.
Doug, the lipstick glass says I'm here for the Lainey Wilson talk.
Oh, really? Okay.
Is she looking to engage in Sappho's?
I don't know.
Stop teasing. You already said you're never with a woman.
Who's being teased?
She's teasing us with thinking she's going to have a lesbo situation with Lainey Spicer, Lainey Gardner, or Lainey Wilson.
Isn't Lainey Spicer the one you book your adult interviews through?
I try not to.
My niece got to meet Lainey when she was here in Tampa. Smoke show with a dump truck. And he sent in a picture. Doug, this is Lainey Wilson. We got so many Laneys going on in this
keep 'em
hour.
straight.
It's the Lainey Hour, Jackson, if you want to title the... Because that'll get people listening.
You got it.
Lainey Gardner, Iggy's girl, who's 24.
Mm-hmm.
Lainey Wilson, I don't know how old How old is Lainey Wilson, Doug? I'll say 30.
Yeah, that'd be a good guess.
Yeah, I was going to say 31.
She is. Ooh, why is this not popping up immediately? Lainey Wilson. I like her hats. I like her
Hats for bats.
She wears a lot of hats.
Yeah, she's like Future with the hats. She's 31 years old.
Iggy shipping it again. You're having a big show.
I'm great with ages.
You're great with pretty much everything.
And then Lady Spicer, who she worked for?
Herself.
Art Sears.
She works for herself. I'll say Lainey's probably 58.
I don't know if I look that up. I'm going to get any
Why?
info on that.
She's a publicist. She's not a porn star.
Breaking news in this EDF group text inbox, and what a moment this is for the show. KG in O-Town says he has just booked Lainey Gardner for 9:30 if we want her.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and if she,
That would set
and if
you
she
off. That'd
doesn't
be too
show up,
much.
will you stop texting the show? Because I know you'll lose that bet. So
That was a bridge too far, what he just did.
Well, I know he can't get her.
I don't know.
Well, make the bet. If she shows up, if she doesn't show up, you can't text the show anymore. How about that?
KG in O-Town, would you like to engage in some kind of wager with Ken Strode? Doug, what do you want to ask Lainey Gardner?
Unless he's working on an IE or AI or whatever it's called,
What do you mean IE?
where you can fake an interview with using somebody's
It's
voice.
artificial intelligence. It's AI.
Now, some people theorize you're talking to AI when you're talking to Dillian Harper late at night, and you think she might have had a nip of the sherry.
Well, I know she's had a nip of the sherry, and no, because there's things I've said this before. There's things that she talked about that only me, her, and Leo know. So somebody faking it would have not known to talk about that.
There you go, Doug.
Well, it's not somebody faking it. It's a computer that may have picked up on
Yeah,
it.
but a computer wouldn't know that we talked about that.
I don't know.
It was between three people.
If Lainey Gardner shows up at 9:30, you got to not come back on the show. That's some big pick energy. He wants you off. Is KG contractually obligated? Is KG contractually able to quit texting into the show? I think Hubbard pays him to do it. That's from Uncle Cucker.
No, Hubbard pays him nothing.
We don't know about that.
Well, I do. He gets paid when he comes in and fills in. That's what you do
So
when
that's
you're
something.
filling. Well, he hasn't been here in a month, 5 weeks, so
I don't know. Sometimes he's here.
well, he comes in for other things, not for Hubbard.
The fact that Lainey Wilson was Entertainer of the Year last night, even though she opened up all year for Luke Combs, who was up for the same award, is a joke. She sucks. That's from Beer Cats, who feel strongly about Lainey Wilson and last night's Entertainer of the Year award.
she
I didn't
doesn't
realize
suck.
we were going to stumble into the Lainey Hour, but we have.
She doesn't suck. She's probably right there with Luke Combs, I guess, and Morgan Wallen is the biggest acts in country music right now.
And you say that because of her dump truck?
No, just because of the music. It's very popular.
Wasn't there another award show last night going up against CMT?
I don't know. I don't know.
I thought I saw that where it said, what are you going to watch, CMT or the other one? I can't remember what it was.
CMA.
Teen Choice Awards, maybe.
I don't watch a lot of Teen Choice Awards.
Well, I don't either, but there was something else on up against it.
Republican debate?
I'm watching Billions. I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, that was it. That was it. Somebody said, are you going to watch the debate tonight or the CMTs?
I would let Lainey Wilson suffocate me to death with her ass. Thanks. That's from caller Buzz. He
Gosh.
also won Milagro Tequila's Listener of the Month in June 2023.
That was inappropriate, what he just said.
Let's see. KG in O-Town just wrote no, and then another text, just don't slip and fall in the shower, eggs.
That makes a lot of sense. So he knows he doesn't ever book, but again, you think you're showing off and think you're funny.
Well, now, don't get upset. It was just a little joke.
I'm not upset.
All right.
Hey, guys, real talk. Country music's awful and we don't live on farms. Thanks. That's Big Tough.
Well, you like what you like. So, let me put it this way.
What?
Some people like things, and some people don't like other things.
Check the hoodie, bro.
Check the hoodie.
I did sign up. Jesse Kiowski, our great promotions director, was shocked that I signed up for a country show. I've never signed up for a country show. For tickets, Old Dominion is coming later this month.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the trucking company?
I think next weekend,
nice.
actually. A lot of people signed up, so I don't know if I'll get them or not.
That's when Gobble Bowl is.
Yeah. My sister-in-law wants to go with my brother, and they would just go right after Gobble Bowl.
Okay.
Still a great night.
Sure it is. Yeah.
As a charcuterie and needlepoint mogul in the Central Corridor, would it be odd to start going after a 73-year-old radio host who lives in a shoebox in Maryland Heights, just trying to get that old assum tail instead of the townies he's used to at Filoni's? That's from the self-made stay-at-home Ledoux mom.
There are townies at Filoni's?
Well, come on over, Ledoux mom.
I would think they probably are townies, because you wouldn't come from out of town to go to Filoni's. That's kind of a neighborhood bar.
Townies.
What's a townie?
We look down on townies in Columbia. Like you go to a college town, when you're in college, you just assume everyone's in college here. And then you go to a bar and there's someone who's not a college student and they become townies.
Doug,
They
my
live in that
hope
town.
when I went to the Stag Bar in Columbia, and I would imagine many of the student body's hope, when you went to, what was it, Club Vogue or Regina's Cabaret, and I don't know Jackson, what's the name of the Stag Bar there now?
Club Vogue was always the one we would go
No,
to.
right?
They didn't have any in my day.
Is that like the
Rumors.
Tridelts would be up there on amateur night competing?
Mm-hmm.
And alas, it was not the Sisters of the Dolphin, but rather townies.
Sure it was.
It was always nice seeing...
Most oftentimes, also parents.
Right. Trailer dwellers.
It was always nice seeing the people up there, and then you'd see them in your microeconomics class the next day. It's like, oh, I recognize you.
You saw that?
Yeah, we would go once a year. We would go to Club Vogue once a year.
And you did see students?
I saw one, yeah.
Really?
Well, I don't think any of those places were there in my day.
I mean, these aren't like, it's not it's not downtown or anything. It is kind of on the north side of Columbia.
Huh. And you went to look at the townies?
Apparently, yeah.
This is interesting. Most country music on terrestrial radio is made for St. Charles Fours to cosplay as manure shovelers in Sleeper, Missouri. From Shrimply Pibbles. That's cosplay as manure shovelers?
I don't know. I guess anything's possible.
Jackson, what's the vibe on country music amongst your 25-year-old peers?
Folks love it.
All right.
Yeah, most of my friends really, really dig it.
Who do they enjoy?
Oh, Morgan Wallen, Luke Combs. They like that Laney. They like a bunch of... I'm not really...
Laney Gardner?
Wilson. I'm not really into it as much, so I don't have my fingers on the pulse necessarily, but I know Morgan Wallen and Luke Combs are huge.
It's country now is closer to pop back
Yeah.
in the 60s and 70s, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say with my demographic, my age group, the most popular is country, pop, and hip-hop.
Yeah.
And everything else is way, way behind. I consider like R&B into the hip-hop world, too. So shout out SZA.
Doug, shout out SZA.
Okay.
Guys, the YouTube chat has a former Cardinal in it. That's from the 314. Let me go into the YouTube chat and see who's in there talking it over.
All right.
Daddy Padre, Ken Oberfell.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Me too, Buzz, me too. I don't know what that means, but Ken
I
Oberfell
don't know.
posted it.
He was a good player.
He was. You played against him.
Yeah, in junior college. Mm-hmm. Gosh, he was good. Holy smokes. And just a couple years later, he was starting for the Cardinals.
Be careful, KG. Last time I bet that I wouldn't call in anymore turned into a text inbox ban too. Iggy can't keep a bet straight. That's from Daddy Padre Blues netminder. Getting the start tonight against the Coyotes?
I think so.
You still butthurt over that?
Oh.
Well, there's another bet that I won.
Well, if Laney Gardner does show up at 9:30, Cletus is really going to take a hit to his bank account.
I didn't bet anything. I just said if she doesn't come on, you got to stop texting in. And he said no, wouldn't take the bet.
Doug, what are we going to ask Laney Gardner? I kind of just know about that Dreams cover.
Yeah, I think everyone saw that video at some point. And really, it was so good, I thought, that's not her. She's just lip-syncing. But apparently it was her.
Well, we'll ask her about that.
Okay.
Ask if she's lip-syncing.
Mhm.
Iggy, then you're going to have to take the interview from there.
I'd gladly take the interview if she was
Nice.
going to be on, but she won't be. So,
Well, what if she were?
well, she won't. So stop talking about it. Guy just spews.
What if she's
out-
literally just like I could first watch there and
Guy spews out crap
Kirkwood and
every
like,
day.
oh, okay, I'll swing by.
Sometimes you
15
think you
minutes
got
away.
people lined up, like Greg Warren, and they don't show up. And then we realize, wait, that's on us. We had the wrong
Or then
day.
you actually read the text, you go, oh, wait, I'm an idiot.
Yeah,
It's actually next Wednesday.
It happens.
But I think there were some good reviews about segment 2 yesterday.
Oh.
Also,
What
some
was
really
segment 2?
bad reviews.
Oh, really? Polarizing segment, Doug. You remember segment 2, don't you?
No.
Iggy stand up when Greg
today.
Greg Warren wasn't in. We figured out I messed up, and then Iggy went into his stand up routine.
Oh, that's right.
Remember that?
That's outstanding. I do remember. Doug and I have to be refreshed.
That was one
Yeah, I
that
remember it now.
Yeah, I don't
could
remember
not-
either, and that was me.
We got a little Sam Kinison, as I remember.
Yeah, what a treat. Sebastian Maniscalco.
Right. And there was another one, too.
Greg Warren.
Oh, that's right. The Rice.
Yeah, you were
Pilaf
doing all the
thing.
bits. It was like we got Greg Warren, but we also got Maniscalco and Kinnison, too. So we kind of came out ahead on that deal. Design Air Heating and Cooling, you can come out ahead with working with Seth Goldcamp and his staff. I'm looking at this forecast, and Doug, I mean, have we relocated to California? Because this is a temperate November. Today, even though it's cooling off in comparison to yesterday with highs in the 80s, still, I mean, got highs in the upper 50s today, high of 58.
Take a look at next Friday or next Saturday for our trivia night. It's going to be 70.
The trivia night's this Saturday.
Oh, we'll take a look at Saturday. Is it cold?
57.
Okay. I was looking at next Saturday.
God, next Saturday is 67. Next Friday, 66. All sunny? Holy moly, cockatoli. I'm telling you. Look at this.
Yeah, 70 for Gobble Bowl, and I remember a couple years ago we were packing up the car in snow.
Is that right? During Gobble Bowl, it snowed? Did it really? Well.
Oh, I remember it was freezing one year, recent year.
Well, get the furnace tuned up with Seth Goldcamp, because you know it's not going to last, but enjoy it while we got it. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling, the official HVAC provider of TMA. I just clicked book now, and they were out there the next day, got the furnace tuned up. We're ready to go when the cold weather does arrive. Design Air is the official HVAC provider of TMA and the Tim McKernan Show podcast. The title of the podcast this week, Jackson, is what?
What is Ja Rule's opinion on
What
this?
is Ja Rule's opinion on this?
Okay.
That's Design Air Heating and Cooling online at designairservice.com. Doug is a client. I'm a client. Say, friends, why don't you become a client like Jackson's a client? It's Circa. As am I. Circa Millions. Wait.
What? If you're looking to gamble this weekend, do a little bit of wagering, maybe college football, maybe the NFL. Let me suggest Circa, because the Circa Sports app is now available in the great state of Illinois. So if you live here in St. Louis, you make the short drive across the river. Or if you already live in Illinois, sign up for the Circa Sports app, because the Circa Sports app is sports betting the way it should be, with big app bets, high betting limits, tight money line splits, and the best customer service. If you're looking around that college football slate this weekend, Alabama heads to Lexington to take on Kentucky.
Oh, you got you recommending a play?
Kentucky is getting 11 at home. Alabama is coming off a huge game with LSU.
Jackson's talking letdown, and Mark Stoops is coming.
I'm not saying Kentucky's going to beat Alabama by any means, but Alabama has struggled with some teams this year. Maybe they're not as good as advertised. And maybe that 11-point spread's a little too much. Maybe you want to lay a little action on the Wildcats from Kentucky. If you're going to do so with the Circa Sports app. The Circa Sports app is now available in Illinois. Visit circasports.com for more details and get ready to start betting like a pro. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
I think Alabama's in the mode where they feel like they're going to have to stomp everybody. If they want a spot in the Final Four, or maybe
It
they
is
don't
a
win the
weird.
SEC.
You're right about that. This is the year. This is the time of year where you can get those edges. And this year is unique because you do have a bunch of undefeated teams at this moment. I mean, in a couple weeks, both Ohio State and Michigan can't both be undefeated. I really like Penn State this weekend. Getting 5.5 at home too.
Oh yeah.
And I think I like the Bulldogs laying 10.5 against Hotty Toddy. Good God Almighty! I know we got a lot of Ole Miss grads in the audience. I'm not poking the bear. I'm just kind of telling you. But Doug, how good is Ole Miss? I don't know. I mean, hey, people aren't giving credit for that Tulane win.
Gosh.
Tulane's going to be playing on a New Year's Six. They won in New Orleans. They beat LSU in a shootout. But Brock Bowers is back for the Dogs this weekend.
Yeah.
Between the Hedges at night game.
Yeah, they did just fine without him too.
Money's moving
Oscar
on the
Delp.
Bulldogs.
Money's moving, really?
On the Bulldogs, yeah.
You said we have a lot of Ole Miss graduates. Listen, I thought Ole Miss was a school where nobody graduates from.
Oh, I apologize. Ole Miss attendees. That's what I am. I'm a Missouri attendee.
Big party school, and nobody actually graduates.
Hotty Toddy, good God Almighty.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
What did that Mizzou game start out? Because they're getting points now.
I saw from the get-go Tennessee -1, and it's just kind of fluctuated.
Okay.
What do you got now?
1.5.
They're getting 1.5?
Yeah, I thought they were favored to start.
I would not touch the game on Saturday.
No, that's kind of...
I would not touch that game. I have no idea on that one.
I'd probably go over 58.5.
You don't know about Luther's status?
Yeah, I feel like that was kind of brushed aside in the analysis after that game. It's like, wow, Georgia shut down Luther Burden. Well, he was hurt. But maybe he's not hurt. Gabe says he has a little Jeremy Maclin in him. He said Maclin would always get hurt, but sometimes it might have been for Cuba Gooding Jr. at the end of Jerry Maguire reasons. I don't know.
I don't know either. If I'm him and I am hurt and you no longer have a chance to win a national championship, I might be more likely to sit this one out than...
Oh, my God. Have fun on Tiger Board today. Have fun on Tiger Board today.
you gotta think about your future if you're him. And you don't want to go out there at 50% and risk major injury.
Jackson, what do you have to say to Doug?
I hear where you're coming from, Doug. I would say if he was eligible for the draft in 2024, I would agree. But since he's still got to play another year, I say you play as hard as you can up until, like I said, like next year when he might be eligible
Yeah,
for the draft.
as long as he can play as hard as he can. If you're going out there and you're a shadow of what you are when you're healthy, you're not going to want to play.
Look at Jackson Smith and Jigba. He hardly played his last draft eligible year, but the year before he dominated. Right. And he got drafted.
He isn't doing much for the Sea Pigeons, right?
No, but I'm talking about his draft stock. Yeah, I agree he's not doing much in terms of the NFL.
I'm kind of surprised by that, too. I would have thought they would have used him as a real compliment to Lockett and Metcalf.
It's not always good to play guys who are banged up either. Even if they are your stars, if they're not anywhere close to 100%, there's a good chance the backup's better.
There's a big discrepancy between Cook's numbers, and granted, they were playing butt asses for the most part. And I include LSU defensively. I know that sounds kind of counterintuitive that LSU's a butt ass, but LSU defensively is in the butt ass category. And really, you remember it looked like he got hurt in the LSU game. Mm-hmm. He has not been the same guy in the second half. LSU and even his numbers, Kentucky, South Carolina, and Georgia, he has fallen off, and I wonder about his health as well. I don't know. Or maybe it's just okay, and you're not playing Memphis and South Dakota and Vanderbilt,
Luther has a lot of value as a decoy, even if he's not 100%. Using him as a decoy is very valuable because anytime he's out there, defense is going to key in on him. So.
I can't, maybe. Not if they see that he's not running very well. I mean, they're not idiots on the other side.
No,
they know when a guy's compromised.
I get that, but I think that there's still value in him playing even if he is not 100%. I mean, how many guys this far into the season are 100%?
Yeah. Well, it just depends on what he can do.
Mm-hmm. USC getting 15 from Oregon.
Can we get around to the Caleb Williams talk, please?
Well, it'll be a great game. I'm looking forward to that one Saturday night. USC, and I guess I'll have to watch it at Trivia.
What is the total on that?
73.5.
Well, USC will give up that.
I kind of actually Plowhawk because Oregon is in that same mode.
Oh, they're about to lay it on USC too. I think they'll score 50 plus. I think I would take the over in a second on that.
The thing is I guess. I mean, what if Michigan has one loss and it's to Ohio State, or what if Ohio State has one loss and it's to Michigan? Does Oregon automatically pass one of those if they beat Washington in the Pac-12 championship game? Point being, teams such as Alabama, Oregon, they may have the incentive to try to do some skull effing, And Oregon USC absolutely provides the opportunity. I don't know if Kentucky provides the opportunity so much as just because USC's defense is, what a situation that is. Got a world-class offense and paired with that defensively. Doug, I'm just trying to get you rich. That's all I'm trying to do.
Okay.
Richer.
All right. You think that sometimes I get the sense that the better players in college football are on the offensive side of the ball? Like if somebody can really fly, they want the ball in his hands. They don't necessarily want him as a defensive back.
Yeah, that always goes to the catching issue.
Yeah, it just seems to me like the scores are so high because just in general, the more talented skill players are on offense rather than defense.
Well, yeah. That's why, as a defensive player, I think one defensive player has won the Heisman Trophy.
I disagree. I think the most important players in college football are the D linemen.
The big uglies up front.
And just in college, I think they're important in the NFL, but more so I think in college. You got quarterback, they're hesitant, don't really make the great, first quick decisions. I think those guys are the Jalen Carters of the world most recent. Like, they just disrupt everything. They make it a lot easier for the guy
I didn't say most
behind them.
important. I think the more talented athletes tend to wind up on offense rather than defense.
Yeah, probably.
Well, yeah, those athletes are anywhere from 190 to 220 pounds, and the linemen
So are the DBs.
300.
No, the DBs are too. It's just a silly little thought that I had. I thought I'd share. I'm sorry.
You don't have to apologize. You don't have to apologize.
Because sometimes you wonder why they run up so many points in college. Why it's so much easier to score in college than the pros. I think maybe it's because there's a disparity in the level of athletes on offense, defense in college that you don't really see in the NFL.
Offensive coordinators are better than defensive coordinators.
No, I think a cornerback and safety is having to run backwards where they're trying to catch a 4.3, speedster, I think is a problem. Oh, that 4.3 speedster also is 6'3".
But they have to do that in the NFL, too.
I get it, but I'm talking the adjustment period.
Iowa wouldn't
if
agree with your premise.
Sophomore, freshman, maybe a junior here or two. I mean, not a lot of these guys have ultra great experience. Enos Rakestraw does, but he looked pretty bad his first couple years at Missouri too. Rough outside of that injury, so he's picked it up. So it takes a while. It's a while to learn those positions.
I was playing Rutgers. Their over-under's 28.5.
Okay.
Got it.
It's embarrassing.
Well, that's not embarrassing. It's just the way they play.
Yeah, Big Ten football is rough to watch, though. I love it, but if you're used to SEC, Pac-12 style football, it's paint drying.
Can someone explain to me why ye old cut and color feels we desperately need a Pac-12 correspondent on this porn show? You can act like a man! It's from Shrimply Pibbles.
Well, I gave you a 5-second what the line is on USC and Oregon. If you don't think that's a good game, then you don't really follow college football, so don't worry about what I say.
I think Shrimply Pibbles does follow college football. I think he's a Gers guy. Doug, is he a Gers guy?
I don't know.
Why would you be upset about me talking about one of the best games on the slate this weekend?
Ken, we all know you have a crush on Caleb Williams because he wore a dress. Jesus Gatesworth him. Stephen Holes is frustrated.
I didn't know he wore a dress. I don't have a crush on him. I think he's a great football player, and I enjoy watching him play.
So you stay up late every Saturday night to watch USC?
Yeah.
I mean, the games don't start till like 10 or 10:30.
9 o'clock. What I got to do? I don't have to get up in the morning.
I don't know.
I mean, I go to bed at like 9:30 on
As a
weekdays.
bachelor, you should be out and about on the town.
Amen.
Smoking jacket on and a cigar lounge somewhere, maybe at the Ritz.
I'd rather watch football.
Best bet on the Bet the Board pod is Tennessee money line saying Mizzou emptied the tank last week. It's from the 402.
Was that Nebraska?
Doug, is that Omaha?
I don't know every area code.
I think it's Matt Rule.
Yeah, it's Laura Patterson's number.
It's Nebraska.
And there's still a lot to play for. I don't understand it. This season, you didn't come into this season, and I'm just talking in general. It wasn't national championship bust. It wasn't making the
It was get over 6.5 wins or bust.
Yeah, and so I know that's low expectation, but you're going to skyrocket past that. You could potentially get 9 or 10. I understand being down because the potential. You beat Georgia. What could happen? That momentum carries you, and you could make the playoffs. But I don't think it's. I think people should still be watching the last 3 or 4 games of the year. Tennessee's a great team.
Sure.
With interest still. I mean, just not watching it to watch it. I still think there's a...
I don't know who isn't, though.
Well, I think a lot of people after the Georgia game kind of, I wouldn't say lose interest, but...
Well, I won't have the intensity that I had for the Georgia game, that's for sure. But
Yeah.
I mean, I certainly have interest. It's good for a program to...
Huge.
To get in a spot where you can finish in the top 10. You can build on that for
And next year-
future years.
Think about the preseason ranking next year. You bring most of your offense back. Obviously your quarterback
You
and
got
your
a
main wide
lot you're
receiver.
going to have to tend to on defense, but hopefully they can get that through the portal.
I mean, if you start out 12th, 13th preseason poll next year, it's an easier climb to, get to maybe a one-loss, college football playoff bid. So this is a huge momentum. You don't want to lose the last 2 or 3.
No.
Just because you gave it all on the line in Athens. I don't buy that.
Oregon's beaten literally nobody. That's from Steven time.
Calm down, Steve.
Oregon shouldn't be ranked 6. Only incentivizes playing a weak schedule. USC versus Oregon will be close. That's from Steven time.
God, he's angry. Everyone can sound angry now, but if it doesn't happen next week, I expect you won't write in being angry about.
I mean, they beat Utah, who was ranked. Washington State, I think, was ranked. They barely lost to a top 5 team, and I don't know. I wouldn't say nobody. They certainly haven't played a ton of talented team, but Colorado, I mean, they had a lot of hope and pride coming in a few weeks ago, so I think they're still decent wins. Right? I mean,
yeah. The Utah win was very impressive.
The Utah one is the one that stood out to me. I didn't. Usually, I feel like I kind of got a gauge on the range of outcomes of games, and that one floored me. I think how well they played in Seattle. It's a game that I think people who watched that felt like they probably actually should have won. I think what's coming into question right now is how good is Washington. You know, So I do think Oregon's in a spot, especially at home in a night game. God, if they can, they'll put up 70-plus points on USC. And I don't even know if that's going to be that tough to do, USC's defense. Holy crap. And then they get Arizona State and Tempe, and Oregon State's at home. So it would be very surprising if they lost a game between now and the Pac-12 championship.
Oregon is 7-1-1 against the spread this season.
Colorado's 10-point underdog at home to Arizona. So much for Deion Sanders, Coach of the Year.
Okay, now don't.
Well, Arizona's actually.
Yeah, Arizona's legitimately decent.
They got really good wins.
Who would be Coach of the Year right now?
I mean,
I would say DeBoer.
DeBoer or Ryan Day.
But I'll tell you what. If they run the table and win the SEC championship, I would actually say Nick Saban may have done his best work. I mean, that team was fighting for their lives against South Florida. I'm not talking about the Texas loss. I'm talking about South Florida. He benches Milroe. Milroe is sick right now. They still have questions on the offensive line, and they have taken a season that looked like it could be a disaster and put themselves right back in the college football playoff picture. I know he won't win it because the expectations are so absurd. But that, if you would have told me back in September that Alabama would be in control of its own destiny, I would have never believed that based on the way they lost comfortably. I mean, Texas just ran it down their throats at the end, and then they were fighting for their lives against South Florida. Holy crap.
You'd have to give some votes to Kirby Smart, too. If you can
That's
keep
the thing,
team
guys like that.
For more than
I
one
agree.
year,
I agree.
Everybody's coming
and
out.
losing a guy who was a Heisman candidate.
Yeah, tough conference.
I think Dan Lanning. I still think.
I think Dan Lanning's life too. I agree with you.
I mean, if they beat Oregon State, you beat USC. I mean, Oregon State is at the end of the year. He'd make Bo Nix at Auburn was so helter-skelter, you didn't really know what he was. He's actually turned into a really good player at Oregon. I think Dan Lanning, I know he's the defensive, side of the ball more so, but he's still focused on offense just as much. I love that. So I think he's in there. I think DeBoer, it's his award to lose. But Kirby Smart is just, I don't know if you can give it to him. I mean, it's just too obvious, I guess.
Undefeated all the time.
I don't know. It's so hard
got the best team.
It's hard to explain why he doesn't deserve it.
Yeah.
But you can understand why he doesn't, too,
I would say
time.
it's a lot harder to build winning teams at places like Kansas State and Kansas. I mean, they got 2 coaches there that have turned those 2 once horrid programs into winners.
The current odds for the Bear Bryant Award, DeBoer is plus 300, Mike Norvell, Florida State's plus
Yeah,
600.
I was thinking Mike Norvell has to be in the mix.
Dan Lanning is plus 700. Steve Sarkisian is plus 800. Ryan Day plus 900. Kirby Smart plus 1,600. Nick Saban plus 2,000.
Oh, I put money on Saban if I was a betting man.
Ryan Day seems like. Cause if they
I just don't think so. I actually think from a should standpoint, again, this is all based on how it plays out here. I mean, they still got Kentucky and Auburn, and I assume they play like one of those randos in between Auburn and Kentucky. That's what they usually do. I mean, like super rando, like North Carolina played something called Campbell last week.
Yeah. Soup.
Right. They played the Soup.
They've played the Citadel before on weeks like this.
They usually have like one of those scrimmage games before they play Auburn. I don't know if they're too concerned about War Eagle right now. War Eagle's an underdog to Sammy Pittman's breast this week.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, if that fourth
Fayetteville.
quarter had gone a little different last Saturday, Eli Drinkwitz's name might have been on the
Absolutely.
He was. He was much higher last week.
list. Oh, that interception.
I don't want to think.
They're gonna see that in their dreams for years.
Signetti from James Madison is plus 1,200.
You know, you talk about Zignetti and the job he's done.
He has better odds than Kirby Smart.
James Madison.
Jimmy Madison.
They've been playing outstanding football.
Doug let him in a bowl. They're not allowed to go to a bowl.
What conference are they in?
Atlantic 10.
No, that's not a football conference.
You just default.
Well, that's who they're in the Billikens basketball conference, aren't they?
I think that was that salon that Missouri played.
Paul Mitchell or whatever.
Is it, the Billikens don't play James Madison?
They played Lincoln last night.
Yeah, where the hell is that? All right, I know it's in St. Louis, but what?
It's not. I believe it's close to Jeff City.
Oh, I think this is the one in St. Louis.
Doug, how many Lincoln universities are there
There's
in
one
within 2
there's one in Jeff City. Yeah.
I know that, but I think this was. I was talking to Rock about this yesterday. I think this is the one in North City.
Really?
Yeah, there's. It's on Riverview Drive. I didn't know if they can count that as.
That's who the Billikens played last night? Are you sure?
No, I was talking to Rock, who's like Mr. SLU basketball, and that's what he was saying. Because I said, the one in
Mike
Jeff
Jones, the Ram who made the tackle, coached at Lincoln, and it was in Jeff City-ish.
The Lincoln Blue Tigers.
Fight Tigers.
It's the Lincoln Blue Tigers. I'm trying to find out where.
Is there such a thing?
This is okay. So it's the one Jeff City. So Rock was wrong.
You ought to walk down the hallway and hold him accountable and dress him down in front of Randy Character.
That's what I kept saying. I was like, "Are you sure?"
Gary
Just
Davis.
pop up. Go tell them. Say we use your information and we look like fools now.
I'm trying to find out which conference James Madison.
Doesn't take much for us to look like fools.
Conference USA.
Conference USA, and the guy's plus 1,200 to get Coach of the Year in that conference.
Hold on.
James Madison isn't in the 18. I was thinking of George Mason.
In the Sun Belt, right?
They are in the Sun Belt. Yeah.
Who's in that conference?
It's not actually a bad conference. I think San Jose State is
Where are
in
they
there,
ranked?
right?
They're ranked in the top 25.
Appalachian State, Coastal, Georgia Southern, Marshall, Old Dominion, UL Lafayette, UL Monroe.
Great conference.
Oh, it's so much better than the A10. It's not even close.
But this A10's a basketball conference.
Yeah. But also, this isn't a butt-ass basketball conference either. Florida Atlantic's ranked in the top 10. Memphis is a decent team.
I don't think Florida
We're
Atlantic
talking
is
football?
in the Sun Belt.
Florida Atlantic
I'm
sucks.
looking at. Okay, God, I looked for the Sun Belt Conference to came up with all the conferences. Okay, there we go. Now that makes more sense. Moving on. I was in the AAC.
Well, either way, he shouldn't be plus 1,200.
All right, there it is. There's the official take. The take is in. Doug, Mark Hanna is a wonderful gentleman. He was in studio yesterday. Jackson, why don't you tell the people about him?
I love working with Mark Hanna. He's truly a gem of a human.
Yeah, he is.
I think it's important for people to become a sponge. They should try to retain as much information from people who have a ton of wisdom as possible. Mark Hanna is certainly one of those people, so when I get on the phone with Mark Hanna, I imagine myself as a sponge, just absorbing all the information he's giving me. And he's a kind-hearted person, but he's also extremely wise when it comes to planning for your financial future, which is so important. So if you don't have a plan, if you think, I'll just figure it out as I go, bad plan. A good
Bad plan. Yes.
A good plan is working with Mark Hanna. I love getting on the phone with him. If I have to make an adjustment down the road with my plan, I know I can get on the phone with him and take care of it because he is great. That's why I work with Mark Hanna. That's why you should work with Mark Hanna.
There it is, and his number is 314-889-0503, or go online at evergreenstl.com to work with Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies. Go online at jefflottmann.com. That's jefflottmann.com. Yeah, if you are in the market to buy a home or sell your home, work with Jeff Lottman of Compass Realty. He made the switch to Compass St. Louis to deliver the luxury experience. It's not a price point thing, Doug. I think that's the thing that you're mistaken about.
Yeah.
It's the experience. That's what Jeff provides. He's been selling real estate and helping people buy homes in St. Louis for 22 years. That's right, 22 years. Mark Hanna has been working in St. Louis real estate. So he's got the connections, and Compass has the connections all over the world. Go to JEFFLOTTMANN.com to work with Jeff Lotman. Well, we're approaching Trivia Night 2 days away. It's November 11th, this Saturday at St. Gabriel's. And $45 gets you all your beer and all your barbecue from Salt and Smoke, all your beer from AB. Why wouldn't you do it Saturday night? I mean, Missouri plays during the day. Doggies are done. Berkey just got named goalkeeper of the year, Doug. I just saw
did
that
he really?
on the Insta. So, hey, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to go to St. Gabriel's. Then we're going to just have a feast and enjoy some libations, all while answering trivia. A portion of the proceeds going to St. Gabriel's. Sign up to book your table or just individual tickets, $45 a person. That's it for all of that food and drink. TMASTL.com. We will see you on Saturday night at the St. Gabriel, the Archangel. Send your emails in, Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. So far, nobody has won 2 this month. The Calcified Ear has a win. The Fancy Gentleman, Amanda Groin, JV Golf Coach, Blueberry Pop Pop, Dogtown Tyler from Spartanburg, all have wins. No repeat winners yet. That's amazing.
Sure is.
It really is. Isn't that fun?
November's the month of parody.
It is. It is a month of parody. Pete Rozell's dream. I second everything Jackie Boy says about Mark Hanna. He makes complex discussions simple and straightforward. He builds confidence and supports all his clients like they are family. Also, he's cute as a button. It's from Shipley Pibbles.
Certainly has hair.
Yeah,
And that dude can pack a snack bag
Yes, he
like
can.
nobody else in the world. And also carry Band-Aids and antiseptic ointment at all times, because I knew that, because I had a cut at the Dotem, and he brought out in a fanny pack his little first aid kit. Dude is prepared in life.
And he's the sponsor of the Blues Trivia Round for TMA Trivia.
Oh,
How do you
love
do?
that. Good for him.
JD Drew.
Super cool.
All right.
Love me some more.
All right, we'll close out this 8 o'clock hour, 9 o'clock hour with Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day coming your way. Jackson and I are going to go in the hallway. What do we have on Balloon Party today?
Today's a Thoroughfare Thursday. I'm really high on my questions. I like them. And I just think it's going to be a great show as always.
Wow, how about that?
Thoroughfare Thursday.
Yeah, this is a great weekend, low key, especially if you're a college sports fan. This weekend, when you got Missouri taking on Memphis and Columbia, and then Missouri taking on Tennessee the next day.
Tennessee.
For the
Remember
whole
that,
state of
Arrested
Tennessee.
Development, 90.
I don't know the years, too.
I'll say 92.
It's like the Tennessee Bowl.
Tennessee.
Meanwhile, Mizzou signed a
Tennessee,
number 2
Tennessee.
class in college basketball yesterday. Just outstanding
I
stuff.
see they got another 7-footer.
Nothing new. They all just signed yesterday, officially.
They're like a thick topic Thursday.
Thick top.
It's like changing the name. It's like Starry is like, was Sierra Mid.
Yeah.
Like, it
Is
used to
that
be
what's
Sierra
going
Mid.
on?
Yes.
Yeah. That right. I didn't
I
know
didn't
that.
Rebrand.
understand it, and it's not really publicized as much. So you see it, and it's like, oh, that's an off-brand.
I didn't know that.
They
It's Sierra
rebranded.
Mist. Yeah,
Pepsi did. Yeah.
I love Sierra Mist. So Starry is my my thing, but it freaked people out. It freaked me out. I didn't know what it was.
Doug so they changed. Freaked
Doug,
out.
did it
Yeah,
freak you?
I wouldn't get freaked out about it. I might look at it and go, huh. Okay. That'd probably be my reaction.
All right, we'll take a commercial break, come back with our 9 o'clock hour here on TMA, which is presented to you by the wonderful people at Brown and Crouppen from our Michelob Ultra Studios.
Rosalitas know that a fun happy hour and scenic patio go together like fresh guac and chips. So take advantage of their covered patio this fall and winter at their De Pere location and enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6. Their sparkling margarita is made with Chambord raspberry liqueur and topped with a bottle of Rosé Prosecco. They also have a variety of delicious margarita flavors, including mango, pomegranate, and blood orange, all made with top-shelf tequila and Cointreau. With phenomenal service, great margaritas, and a breathtaking atmosphere, there's always a reason to come to Rosalitas.
Hey, this is Joe Buck. We all have people we miss and who we would do anything to see or hear again. Whenever I want to hear my dad's voice, all I have to do is go to YouTube, but most people don't have that luxury. Now with Sound Story, your family's stories can be saved forever. Sound Story is a professionally produced hour-long conversation in which you or one of your loved ones is interviewed by the host of your choice, including TMA's own Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, and Jackson Burkett. Hundreds of St. Louisans have already told their stories with Sound Story, and the experience is one they loved.
I think everybody that can do it, they should, for their children, for their grandchildren, because I know I would give anything to hear my parents' voice.
Visit mysoundstory.com today and use promo code TMA for 10% off your Sound Story gift certificate purchase. That's mysoundstory.com. Promo code TMA for 10% off your Sound Story gift certificate purchase. Sound Story. For you, for them, forever.
The morning after has your chance to win tickets to see Hootie and the Blowfish. Collective Soul. Edwin McCain. On the Summer Camp with Trucks Tour, Saturday, June 1st, 2024 at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. Open up your TMA mobile app and enter keyword Hootie to win. That's keyword Hootie on your TMA mobile app.
The choice of a lawyer is important and shouldn't be based on an ad.
If you're seriously hurt in an accident, you'll want all the money you deserve. That's called justice. But there wouldn't be lawyers if justice was easy. No, justice is not easy. It's fought for and it's won. At Brown & Crouppen, we fight for justice every day. If you want some, call 222-2222. Because at Brown & Crouppen, justice is our business.
TMA presents their second ever trivia night, November 11th at Tim's alma mater, St. Gabe's, starting at 7:30 p.m. A little different than last year. Not just TMA trivia, all trivia, sports, entertainment, STL-centric, and a few rounds of TMA trivia thrown in for good measure. And it's hosted by Tim, Doug, Iggy, Plowsy, Action Jackson, and whoever else is on the show. You can purchase single tickets, tables of 8, or anything in between. Tickets are on sale now and are $45 a person. A portion of the proceeds from the event will go to St. Gabe's. Tickets include food from Salt and Smoke and all your Anheuser-Busch beer. But feel free to bring your own food and drink too. Another TMA Trivia Night, November 11th. Get more info and find out how to buy tickets at TMASTL.com.
TMA Trivia Night is brought to you by South City Sporting Goods.
I'm Tim McKernan here with Action Jackson talking to you about Mark Hanna. TMA listeners have a lot to think through financially, whether it be saving up for their child's education or planning for their own retirement and everything in between.
Whether you're like me and just getting started with your financial planning, or you're already retired, call Mark Hanna.
It all starts with a 15-minute phone call to discuss your needs and design the right strategy for you and your future.
Visit evergreenstl.com or give Mark a call at 314-889-0503 today. Mark Hanna offers securities through Equitable Advisors and insurance and annuity products through Equitable Network, LLC.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with a great TMA sponsor, and that is Longo Biggs Injury Law Firm. And you may hear a bunch of out-of-state law firms advertising here and there all over on billboards and so on and so forth. But the thing is, oftentimes their goal is to just settle and move on. And that's not what you guys do.
Yeah, this is CD Longo, and you hear us talking a lot about maximizing the value of cases, but what does that actually mean? Well, as Tim said, there's lots of personal injury lawyers in St. Louis, and everyone handles cases differently. We focus on getting the highest dollar amount for your injuries, not just getting a resolution quickly. We're constantly tracking all the settlements and verdicts in the area. This helps us advise our clients on whether a settlement offer is too low. And if the amount of compensation being offered is too low, we are happy to file lawsuits and proceed to trial to ensure our clients receive an amount that is fair. Visit our website or Google us at Longo Biggs Injury Law.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Okay. Hot takes.
Yeah.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
And now the Pepperoncini Show with Darren Atkins and Ken Stroh. All right, take it, fellas.
There it is. That's the open.
Pepperoncini.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
We don't know what it is. We don't understand the name. We just know it's stupid. And it's available every weekday, featuring Iggy and the Plowboy. Apparently it's some kind of a podcast or something. Available at TMASTL.com and on the TMASTL mobile app. Whatever.
Bet like the pros with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circus Sports is now available in Illinois. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I've been a lifelong sports bettor and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. We're excited that the Circus Sports app is now ready for action. Experience big app bets with high betting limits, tight money line splits, and more. Now you can download, fund, and bet like a pro from anywhere in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Hootie fans, get ready. Hootie and the Blowfish, Summer
Summer Camp with Trucks Tour 2024. Saturday, June 1st. Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. Hootie and the Blowfish together again. With special guests, Collective Soul and Edwin McKay. On sale this Friday, 10 a.m. at LiveNation.com. A night of all the hits with Hootie and the Blowfish. Part of the Allegiant Always concert series.
TMA presents their second ever trivia night, November 11th at Tim's alma mater, St. Gabe's, starting at 7:30 p.m. A little different than last year. Not just TMA trivia, all trivia, sports, entertainment, STL centric, and a few rounds of TMA trivia thrown in for good measure. And it's hosted by Tim, Doug, Iggy, Plowsy, Action Jackson, and whoever else is on the show. You can purchase single tickets, tables of 8, or anything in between. Tickets are on sale now and are $45 a person. A portion of the proceeds from the event will go to St. Gabe's. Tickets include food from Salt and Smoke and all your Anheuser-Busch beer. But feel free to bring your own food and drink too. Another TMA Trivia Night, November 11th. Get more info and find out how to buy tickets at TMASTL.com.
TMA Trivia Night is brought to you by South City Sporting Goods.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After.
On KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis.
Do it, Joshua. I'm gonna give you... I had people say that this was auto-tuned. Listen to this and tell me it was auto-tuned.
That's a real echo.
Thank you.
Really?
They're in the caverns
He's
at
got a
Merrimack.
special booth. Yeah.
Has anyone ever done a music video at Merrimack Caverns?
I think that was the first, but many have followed.
Because we did Antelope Canyon, which is similar to like Caverns, and they had a spot where Britney Spears did a music video, and I was thinking about
Is that
Merrimack.
right?
Yeah. And also...
What music video, Britney?
I forgot which one, but also a Windows 98 screensaver, very popular one. It was in that same set of caverns. So they kind of have tourist destinations inside of them.
Oh, was the YouTube on during the commercial break? I just flipped in there and people saw KG in O-Town.
I mean,
must have been.
Typically I just hit commercial
Good
break.
thing I didn't reveal all my sexual fantasies.
Yeah. Well, there's still time in this hour.
Yeah, I guess
Well,
I
there's no
can do
audio,
it all.
so kind of funny just to see random people walking around the studio.
I don't know how funny that would be.
Tom
Probably more
Summers saw it and Walrus King saw it.
Sometimes you double click this mouse because it's right next to the phone, so it's an awkward angle. Sometimes you'll double click it.
Walrus King says it's always slightly visible.
Huh. We're
Who
going to have to
knew?
be careful not to drop our trousers.
Doug, remember when I caught you changing in the studio?
I thought I was alone.
That was one of the funniest
It was after
moments.
the show.
Bad boy.
Your face was... I felt like both of you were awkward, but also you didn't care as well.
Oh,
It was
no, I could care less.
Yeah, like that no filter. Like you
Yeah.
were originally worried that it was a female, and then you figured it was me, and you just kept like...
Yeah. I told you I reached the age where I can be neither offended nor embarrassed.
What age does that happen? Do you have any idea? What age?
60.
60, that's where it is?
Mhm.
That's the sweet spot.
Yeah, I think it is. There's just nothing really anymore.
Illinois Recovery Center is the new premier inpatient substance abuse facility in Swansea, Illinois. When it comes to the disease of addiction, getting help should not be as difficult as it currently is. The Illinois Recovery Center's mission is to be the receiving hand in the community when someone seeks help. The IRC delivers a comprehensive system of care that welcomes both the individual struggling and family alike. If you or someone you know wants to learn about the Illinois Recovery Center, please call 888-472-9559. That's 888-472-9559, or email info@illinoisrecoverycenter.com. You can watch this program on youtube.com/TMASTL. You can join us for Balloon Party. That YouTube chat on Balloon Party is turning into a whole thing, Doug.
Is it?
It's quite a scene in there. Don PP runs it. But many of the TMA listeners make their way down there at 10 o'clock, so you can interact in there and talk it over. That's a more interactive one than the TMA. The TMA one is just like thoughts.
Mhm.
They talk with each other. They become friends of the feather in that YouTube chat on the Balloon Party one.
Swingers.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
I would imagine. And, of course, you can text in EDF Group text inbox 314-881-TMA5 and email in for this Design Air Heating and Cooling email today, which is coming your way at approximately 9:45 on today's radio presentation. Jackson, you got a sound story? Is that right? I just saw KG in O-Town. The audience just saw KG in O-Town.
Yes, I do. 1 o'clock today.
1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yep. Looking forward to it.
That's assuming we don't get Laney Gardner in this hour.
Oh, yeah. Laney Gardner's supposed to be on at 9:30.
Yeah, he's
so in
efforting.
2 minutes.
Can't wait.
Nice. Is that why KG's here?
I don't know. I would doubt it, but
You got a sound store today?
I do, yeah, 1 o'clock.
There you go.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Doug, here's the Clippers and Nets highlights you wanted.
Yes, I was wondering when we get around to that.
Where is that at?
Oh,
Clip 7.
It should be clip 7, Plowsy.
Oh, okay. Iron Eagle. One of my favorites, by the way.
Okay, hit the lever, Plowsy.
This rejection by Paul George. Harden, that's coming my way. I got it. Unbelievable. I could see it from the beginning. Ed, you take over, my friend. That might have been my greatest call in NBA history. I knew it from the second it left his hand. Yep. Do it. I also have tea all over my lap.
I got coffee all over my...
Yeah, James Harden just said, hey, welcome back. Let's get the bucket from Lonnie.
Ed's got a female voice.
Ed was the referee who he handed the basketball to.
Oh.
I'll tell you right now, I'm going to have a hot take.
What?
Gus Johnson now. Iron Eagle and the voice of college basketball and March Madness for me now. He's really good
He is
at his
good.
job. And he doesn't get any sort of respect or credit. He does a ton of work. Like
I
he's
think people love Iron Eagle.
when you bring up, great announcers of right now, he's, he kind of takes a back seat, I feel like.
Does he work
is
with
phenomenal.
Charles Davis on football? Is that the duo?
I don't know.
I don't know, but he's good at everything.
That's their number 2 team.
It's an interesting name, Iron Eagle.
I don't get it.
His son's great too, Noah Eagle.
Noah Eagle.
Okay, that's awesome.
He's my age. He's really good.
How is he your age? Iron Eagle doesn't look 40.
He's probably 50.
Iron Eagle is 54.
Isn't there a ski jumper named Eagle?
Eddie the Eagle.
Noah Eagle. I haven't heard of him.
That's correct.
But that wasn't his last name. It was an Eagle, I don't think. That's just
Belfour.
a nickname.
I made a movie about him.
Mm-hmm. Who's typing? Who's doing it? Who's
Sorry,
doing all the work?
I thought my mic was off. My bad.
There's a bowler named Dale Eagle.
Is there?
Above.
There used to be a pro wrestler named Rip Hawk, which could have been related to Eagle.
What about Rip Torn, who played the character Arthur on the Larry Sanders Show?
Sure. Torn Dorn. Remember him?
Roger Dorn.
Rip Thorne also is great in dodgeball.
Mm-hmm.
You can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Think about that.
Okay.
You thinking about it, Doug?
I'm thinking about Iron Eagle and just how interesting that name is. What do you think the nationality is on the last name Eagle?
American Jack. The Eagle is American.
Yeah, you're kidding me? He was hatched in America.
It could well have been.
I mean, the first bald eagle ever spotted.
Yeah, what could be
And
more
they-
American than the last name Eagle?
Iron was the one that was born.
Okay, KJ Town's in the chat now.
What's he doing there?
I don't know.
Came all the way in just to chat.
Well, now don't get down on him. Are you down on him?
I don't need to be down on him.
Why?
Can do it himself.
Oh, gosh.
Guys, the Iron Eagle movies were pretty underrated. Thanks. That's from Rob McClanahan, but my good friends call me Rue. Is that Lou Gossett or is it Louis Gossett?
Depends on how well you know him. I think we all know him well enough to call him Louis.
If Tim was an announcer, he would be the best in the world. That's from the 314. It's a good text.
Who is the best in the world right now? The best sportscaster in the world right now?
Jim Nance.
You're talking play-by-play?
Yeah. Now that Ben Scully's no longer with us, or Jack Buck, or it's kind of wide open.
I know it
now.
sounds biased, but I really think Joe Buck's the best.
Yeah, probably is.
I really do.
Probably the most accomplished for all the World Series and Super Bowls that he's.
Because I enjoy the humor and along with the ability and that's it. But so I think in a way it's preference. Certainly, as he would acknowledge, he's got plenty of people who don't like his work.
Well, some people like things.
What?
And some people don't like other things.
Oh my God!
I guess it would be between he and maybe Jim Nance. You think Al Michaels is still in that group?
No, he's lost his fastball.
Oh, yeah.
Is that right?
He's lost his platform. It's harder to see the
Yeah,
games that
true.
he's on.
Well, and Nance, I think, is gotten worse at football with Troy Aikman, or not with Aikman, with Romo, because Romo
of
tries.
a kid.
Well, I think Romo tries to be funny sometimes. Now, Jim Nance, I think, goes out of his way to try and be funny as well, which he never did that before.
Well, I think Jim Nance is probably exhausted from Tony Romo because he's done this for 30 or 40 years, and I just...
They're not exhausted making the 15 or 18 million a
No,
year.
but it's just you're working with an unpolished guy who, isn't really that good, I'll be honest. Greg Olson's about 50 times better. I mean, it is what it is. So I love Nance in golf, but I think he's pretty boring in basketball.
Al Michaels has to call the Bears and Panthers tonight.
God.
What, 1-7 against 2-7? How did it come to that? How did it get to that? I can't imagine any team more boring than the Chicago Bears. I mean, they are just dreadful to watch.
I don't know. When Fields started running the ball, he had a couple of good games.
He's out again. He's
not playing, so I don't know who's Drabinski still there.
No, not Mitch Trubisky. No, they got that guy.
Bagnett.
Yeah,
His dad's the arm wrestling champion.
Yeah, he was the walk-on from the Division II school.
I think Drabinski's still playing. I think
he's in Pittsburgh.
I think he played for somebody a couple weeks ago when they were out picking.
Did he? Yeah, when you see guys like that hang around, that's what makes you think, I don't know if a Brady Cook could be an NFL backup.
Trubisky was all-pro one year.
Yeah,
he
had
all these backups playing. I bet Chase Daniel wishes he wouldn't have retired.
You see Rippon play the other day with the Rams? I mean, he had nothing.
I mean, he was horrible.
Just terrible.
But then you see a guy like Josh Dobbs get traded, learn the playbook overnight, and then win.
Your thoughts are welcome. 314-881 TMA5. The topic of the 7 o'clock hour, which is presented to you by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Alton Toyota. Derek Gould's article in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. I'll go more into that coming up in about 25 minutes on Balloon Party. I thought it was really insightful, and I tip my cap to Derek on the work in that story, and I would recommend reading it on stltoday.com. The real spot the Cardinals are in, both from a baseball perspective, along with the attendance side of it, all while running parallel with the uncertainty, with the revenue coming from television, which John Mozeliak acknowledges. ESPN just this morning, Doug, has released the top free agents and their projected contracts.
Okay.
What do you think? Number one, of course, Shohei Ohtani. He is the domino for free agency. You like guessing games?
Yes.
What do you think Shohei Ohtani is going to get? Now, you got to guess what ESPN is projecting, not necessarily what he's going to get.
I'll say 10 years, $40 million a year. $400
Plow, would you like to fire a bullet at the pot? I know you enjoy
Per
baseball
year?
off season and you're monitoring this close. The whole contract. So I guess 10 years, so you guessed a $400 million deal.
Yeah.
I'm guessing 8 for $415.
Jackson, would you like to fire a bullet at the pot?
I saw this yesterday. So
it just came out 4 hours ago.
I thought I sent you something like this. Didn't I send you?
No, it came out at 7 o'clock. 6, 7 Eastern.
I'll go 7.
Maybe you sent Bill's projections.
I thought. I
These are
swear I thought
ESPN's.
I sent you something like this, but.
Hey man, you're still a hot guy.
Just guess a contract.
Go 8 years, $325 million.
Iggy.
7,350.
The projection from ESPN.com is a 10-year, $520 million deal. That's $52 million average annual value. Welcome to the baseball
And he's hurt.
offseason.
And he's hurt.
I got the per year. Correct.
I think I got the average AAV.
Doug got the years.
8 for $415 is 50.
I think you really might be like spot on.
Yeah.
But he's getting another $100 million.
I said
wouldn't
7
do
for
it. I don't
350.
care who
That's
you are. I
50
wouldn't do it.
Insane.
There's no
What
way.
about Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Doug? He is ranked second as far as projected contract. Want to fire a bullet at the pot? I'm just going to do you. Now I'm monogamous.
Okay. 8 years, $30 million.
That'd be a hell of a deal for somebody. Or you're saying 8 years,
million.
$240 million.
8
Got
for
it.
240.
The projection is 7 years, $212 million. So you were right on the AAV. 7 years, $212 million for Yamamoto.
Which I would do. He's 26.
I got to be honest with
That's
you.
the one I would jump on, bro.
That actually, the issue is the length of it. I mean, he really has to hit, but God.
I mean,
I got to tell you, I literally am going step by step, so I haven't read this all through as I'm going. Third is Blake Snell. They've got him projected for 6 years, 150. 6 years, 150. His opening day age is 31 for the record. Then next is Cody Bellinger. That's 7 years, 147 million, so 21 million average annual value. Now we get back to Cardinal land, at least theoretically. Aaron Nola. Doug, what do you think they got that one?
He's going to be about $28 million a year for 5 years, maybe.
Plowhawk, what do you think?
225.
Wow.
I think someone could overpay. I
agree with you. I agree with you on that sentiment. I'd be surprised if it were that. But hey, man, maybe it will be. Jackson, you want to fire a bullet at the pot?
I'll go 250. Yeah.
6 years, $250 million.
41 and a half.
Aaron Nola?
I think I'm at 33 and a half.
40-something million a year.
Yeah, I'm just firing guesses back here. To be 100% honest with you, I'm doing like 100 things back here.
Oh,
so
come on, Bill.
You guys are at.
There was no way. I know Jackson too well to know that I knew something he was up there.
Mm-hmm.
There's just no way.
I'm sorry.
I'll tell you. You've just withdrawn from the field, and it's fine.
Okay.
I love Jackson.
That's balloon party back there. That's what's doing that to him.
Okay.
He has to meditate before he deals with it. Iggy, you want to guess?
I don't know the years. I'll say 26 mil a year.
Well, there you go. It's not bad. 5 years, 120 million for Aaron Nola.
Oh, I don't know.
I think that's low.
That's insane low.
I think that's low. I mean,
low.
it's obviously a ridiculous amount of money, but for this market and the teams competing, I would be surprised if he only gets that. And I say only, recognizing it's a hell of a lot of money and a monster contract. Jordan Montgomery is ranked 6th. He's expected to get 5 years, $106 million. So that's $21.2 million AAV. Then they go to Josh Hader, who they think is going to get 5 years, $105 million. He'll be 29 on opening day. Matt Chapman, Eduardo Rodriguez, Iggy's guy. 4 years, $72 million for Eduardo Rodriguez. It's an $18 million AAV.
I'm with Iggy.
Yeah, that's about what he was making.
I'm with Iggy. That might be the guy.
If you could get he and Montgomery at that low, I mean, you're paying Michaelis almost that much. Those guys are much better.
That's
than
the thing. I have to tell you, I'm kind of surprised by these. And if that's the case, then maybe the Cardinals can do some things. And then Sonny Gray, the guy that I know down the hallway, Randy Character's program, they're always talking about Sonny Gray. And then John Denton brought him up with me, and we played that sound yesterday. He is 34, and they've got him at 3 years, $69 million. So that is around that AAV that Denton said, which is 25. So to be exact, it's $23 million for Sonny Gray.
I think Yamamoto's the only one that actually makes sense in terms of age-wise. His contract ends at 33. Let's say that's because he signs a 7-year deal. Now, it could be more. But that, to me, makes sense. Signing a guy who's 31 to a 6-7-year deal and it ends at 38, 39, you're knowing your last 2 years are dead money.
And they just
that, to me,
already
makes no
have that with Contreras. So you just can't have that on the books and then be competitive unless they're spending a $300 million payroll in 2026. Guys, is Brett Tomko still available to fill a starting spot?
What's Rodriguez, 29, 30?
I think he's
Tomko?
Just under 30,
Rodriguez.
I thought.
Rodriguez.
Oh, I think he's 30. I think I saw.
So that
30
makes
there.
sense. His contract ends at 34, 35. I would never pay a pitcher 28, 29 million, 30 million for, age 35, 36, 37. That to me has never worked out. Scherzer maybe.
Rodriguez will be 30 on opening day. I don't know if he is yet, Iggy, but they just have the opening day age, and they got him 4 years, $72 million. Gray, 3 years, $69 million. Giolito, 4 years, $68 million.
Yamamoto,
Stroman, 3 years, $63 million.
Yamamoto's not related to the guy who led the attack on Pearl Harbor, I hope. I mean, if you're one of the Bundesliga's team, you don't want to hire somebody named Eisenhower.
Wow. You're really bringing thought into this.
Just going another layer deeper.
Adding that juicy little nugget, that cherry right on top of the free agent signing.
Well, if they could get Seth Lugo for a year or two, I wouldn't mind that. I didn't realize he was. I mean, I know listen, I understand. That can't be like... when they, for example, when they signed Steven Matz, I'm like, I'm not down on the Steven Matz thing because I was operating on the premise that he would be just like the back end guy. And then he was the guy. And I go, boy, that wasn't what I was expecting.
He may still surprise us. He had some pretty good starts there at the end.
I understand.
He He may be a decent 4 or
But he
5
wasn't
guy.
signed to be an ace or a 2. And that's what I'm saying about Seth Lugo. If you're going, okay, we've got A and B, and we're really going to try to compete in 2024, damn the luck, we're just going to have to do it, then Seth Lugo wouldn't be a bad guy if you could get him. Now, they're saying 3 years, $36 million, and I wouldn't want to be allocating that to Seth Lugo.
I'd be all right with Waka and Bauer, too.
Do you think their budget would fit Giolito and Rodriguez?
Let's get them all. Let's get all this.
Well, you
Get
need,
8 or
you
9.
need 3. I'm talking 2.
I mean, according to this, yes, because that would be 18 for Rodriguez and 17 for Giolito. So you're at 35 million, and you still have 18 million left, if indeed that is about what they're planning on doing.
I'm not going into
22 million.
I'm not going into politics. I'm not going into anything. But you do bring up Bauer. I think that's not a terrible option. If it's a 1 year, 12 million, something, maybe a tryout period.
He was
you don't
really
have him
good
locked
last
up
year
in
in
years.
Japan.
You don't have him really locked up in terms of a big. 12 million for a starter who could be a 3 or a 4. They will not. I don't think the Cardinals organization will venture that way. But if you're looking to not spend a lot of money and have a guy maybe get 160 some innings, that might be the way to go.
Trevor Bauer's representatives met with teams in an effort to find him a major league landing spot, according to John Heyman of the New York Post. It isn't clear which clubs, if any, have reciprocated interest in the right-hander. This story posted yesterday at 11 p.m.
Yeah, he's definitely got some off-the-field
I think it's his Twitter of going after fans, I think, is why I said. I mean, the court stuff, that you can let, top-notch people figure that out. I'm not going into that.
He
But
got off of that.
Going
He beat that right.
going back on, and forth with fans on Twitter, probably not a good
No.
idea. So I think that would be the.
He's an interesting personality, to say the least.
I would say that's a great word for it.
That might even be giving him the benefit of the doubt.
But if you're looking
He
for
will be
cheap
33 on opening day, for the record.
Yeah.
I'd throw a shot.
If you got
at-
he and Walker both for 2 years, I think that'd be okay.
And then maybe try to get Yamamoto. If you get 3
Yeah, you need
for
another
2
one
that
on
are
top
really
of those
cheap,
guys.
I think that
Yeah.
would be an
You'd need-
amazing free agency.
You'd need somebody better than them, and then those 2.
Mm-hmm.
If you get Montgomery back and those 2, I'd say, okay,
And now
you got
Hudson and Liberatore, your long relievers. I think Zach that works, man. That works. I like that, Doug.
So what's your official, what do you like, Plowhawk?
Like a Waka type or a Giolito. I think they're going to be in the same AAV. Get yourself a Bauer for a 1 or 2 year, and then Yamamoto. So you get 3 starters.
Oh, I would love the Yamamoto thing.
I would
would
go on
love for
back-
so many reasons. It'd be shocking to me, but God, that'd be great. I would love to see that. That's the one that would get me fired up. And then I'd be like, okay, well then kind of whatever next year, because Yamamoto, you're not going eggs in one basket for 2024. I worry about this 2024 thing and then how it can screw him up the rest of the decade, or a good portion of the rest of the decade. And that may be unfounded. Listen, but that Gould article was quite insightful, I thought. I recommend people take a look at that if you would like on STLtoday.com. Let's see, Doug. Is any business I need to tend to, Jackson, or can I go to this?
We're all good.
Man, I've really hosted a good show today.
Gosh.
And it's tough to
You've outdone
impress
yourself.
It's tough for me to impress myself because my expectations, I'm my own Tyler from Spartanburg.
Yeah.
We have enough time for jokes, even. If you want
to tell some jokes.
I have a message for the JV golf coach.
Oh. You like the JV golf coach?
I love the JV golf
okay.
coach. You keep sending your emails, and half of it gets buried, where you have to highlight it to see the words. It's like invisible ink.
What kind of format is that?
I don't know, but he needs to stop doing it if he
How
wants
is
to get his
that?
emails right, because I can't put this in there.
That could be hurting his case to win the November Design Air Heating and Cooling Email of the Month.
It's a disqualifier.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know if it's white text or something, but you gotta get rid of that, big dog.
For the record, we are off. 2 weeks from today is Thanksgiving. How about that? Doesn't that seem like it's kind of quick? Am I
It
off
does,
on that?
because it's 75 degrees outside every day.
And also, Halloween was 9 days ago,
Mm-hmm.
right? Nurse?
Yeah, when it was 30 degrees.
Yeah. So just as an FYI on that, I'm probably going to be taking some time. We have to utilize vacation. Some of it carries over. Is it 80% carries over, or just a certain set number of days? Does anybody know?
80 hours.
80 hours?
2 weeks?
80
worth?
hours or 80%?
I'm pretty sure 80 hours.
80 hours would be 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Jackson, have fun running point in December.
Well, I got to email Tommy because I always take week after Thanksgiving off and the week after Christmas off. I haven't emailed Tommy yet. I think he knows those are my 2 weeks.
Oh, we know.
No.
He got a calendar notification.
You think he just knows everybody's vacation time every
He
year?
manages like 80 talents.
Oh, Thanksgiving's coming up. I'm pretty sure he always takes Thanksgiving off. I'll email him today. But it's for the last 5 years, that's been my 2 weeks Thanksgiving.
Well, we were at a, ham station in a strip mall.
I know.
So I don't know if Tommy was monitoring which days you were on and
Well, I'm
off.
saying that's what
That indicates he was recruiting heavy.
That's what I took last year. And I said, Tommy, I would like to request 2 weeks that I always take off. Week after Thanksgiving, week after Christmas. I'm sure he remembers that.
You know, both the good and the bad. Both the good and the bad with vacation time, what I found is they don't care when we're here.
I know. I noticed that too. It's like, oh, you were not. Well, obviously, I missed my, review.
And don't quote me on that, Tim. I might be off the mark, but I thought that was what was the case. So I'm not 100% positive.
So if you don't take vacation this year, you get 4 weeks next year?
I have no idea. That's just what I heard.
I don't think that's.
It's just so different once, you know this, Doug. I'm sure, I assume anyway. Once you started having kids, it's not like, I'll take vacation, then we'll go somewhere. I'll just take vacation just to.
Yeah. You got to sync up with them.
Yeah, that's it. So it's not like I'll probably be going anywhere.
No kids means a lot of staycations, Doug, which are very nice.
No kids means staycation?
No kids means you can go. You
Right,
can travel
yeah.
out of your
I
system.
used to travel like the Dickens.
Oh, I like staycation to don't have kids, so. My
Well,
point.
it probably has more to do with money than kids.
No, I just.
Traveling's expensive.
Traveling is. We do enough of it. Me and Madison.
Yeah, you guys do good
Been
travel.
thankful to go to a lot of places.
Stephen Wildwood says he left a mic drop and he's now in pain. Jackson, so we have to have that ready to go.
Got it.
Abdominal issues.
Truly delusional. That's from Clevie Wade. What does that mean?
Iggy's vacation time.
Wow, that's what you
Knowing
think that was?
Knowing that Tommy would know.
It's like we take hints from the texters as to what they're texting about.
He would just intuitively know when Iggy's vacation time. I did see this news flash that KG in O-Town has indeed helped himself to one of the free bowling shirts that Iggy brought in.
Oh, is that right?
There's a picture of him.
Got to be a
Where
video
is that?
idea coming.
Is it on the
It's on
fan
the
page?
fan page, yeah.
Oh, let me take a look.
Got
Iggy, how do you feel about
got the
KG in
blue one.
O-Town now wearing one of your bowling shirts?
I don't care. They're up for anybody.
Look at that. I thought that was a peace offering.
Okay.
Here we go. That time of month again. Look at that. Time to sign into my email.
Why would you get upset by that?
And now I got to go find Sean and
Sean.
Or maybe Rut.
There's KG in his blue.
Who's Sean?
Ooh, he looks good. That's good.
Yes,
Blue and
he's
gold
good.
for St. Gabriel's trivia night.
Who's the? He helps Rut. He got the rock star of the
Drew?
month.
Drew.
But he goes by Sean?
Sean. I call him Sean.
Well, don't you remember your password?
It doesn't work.
Well, then it's the wrong password.
No, it has nothing to do with the password.
Well, yes, it is. It's the wrong password if it doesn't work.
No, I know the password. And then it says, go type in these 3 numbers. And I type in the 3 numbers, and it says, go back here. And even Drew didn't know how to do it. Drew can do it, but he goes, I don't know why it's not working. He's got to
See,
go
it's so
someplace
easy for mine. I just click on my Authenticator app, and it tells me the number, and I just go
Yeah.
back to the email.
That's what I do, and it doesn't work.
That's so weird.
Well, Drew could have done it in like 10 seconds, but I got to go find him to do it.
Well, sure
He's
you
getting
do.
ready to send Tommy an email. I
Yeah. Maybe bring him a bowling shirt.
Just send him a text.
Well, they're up for everybody, and he just did it to take a picture for everybody, and when he gets home, he'll throw it away. That's fine.
My email is working fine, in case anyone was wondering. It's from KG in O-Town. He has a Hubbard email.
That's almost as if he's trolling.
Yeah. Sure, they made sure they put you on it because all the important stuff's got to go to you.
Oh. Wasn't he responsible for our vacation time there for a while?
That's who I can talk to about how many hours I need to use by December 31st.
No, well, the reason with that, Doug, was before asking Tommy for time off, I wanted to make sure KG was able to even accommodate those days. Because if he couldn't, then we're talking about a whole nother conversation with Tommy.
That's right. Plowhawk's right about that,
So,
Jack.
wanted to, kind of spearhead that and talk to my replacement before I talking to upper management.
Spearhead's a good word.
I do like that word.
Thank you, I appreciate
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day here at TMA.
Sorry.
You can never go wrong with the Media Lab. The program presented by Brown and Crouppen. Let's see what we got here. Am I in the filtered file, Doug? Yes, I am. Clean email Tuesday. Clean email Wednesday. I know how many votes I got. Nada. Zilch. Well, a lesson learned is time well spent. And I'm not going to go for the easy votes. and I give you the tip about watching Zazie Kakim, Tiffany Tatum strapless lesbian video either. Because this email is about Mr. giving Doug Vaughn a tongue lashing for being a bad boy.
No,
a very bad boy. But that's a story for tomorrow. That's from a kid named Finn.
A kid named Finn.
No. And then there's a middle name of Gurr, and then his last name is Miaz.
Finn Jer Miaz. Dutch, maybe?
I would assume.
Finn Jer Miaz.
Any hoodles, hey Tommy, if you're listening, you already know this, but I'll be off for 2 weeks vacations around Thanksgivings. And young, pro tip, don't look at naked people on company Wi-Fi. You spoiled grapefruit.
Oh.
Furthermore, his ability to make everything about himself remains unmatched. Quote, what if I went to the AVNs and asked to have sex with everyone I interviewed? There's a banister with a rusty nail sticking out of it in my apartment. May have the tetanus, Tim. Hey, Tim, wouldn't that be wild? Tim! Thanks. Tim, did you hear? Tim! That's from number one Asian intern Brian Henshin. Not sure if any of my colleagues are listening, but I still have that box of blank CDs and Disney cassettes sitting on the break room table.
Brian Henshin.
And Young. Has anyone seen Sean or Rut? Sean! Drew? His name is Drew? Whatever, I call him Sean. Thanks again. That's from number one Asian intern Brian Henshin, supporter of Jackson becoming the official keeper of Ken's passwords. Anyone seen Sean?
I could use help with that too. Brian Henshin, point 2.
Morning, guys. I swear Iggy must have been rubbing some teenage Fleetwood Mac cover singer Magic Lamp this morning. That's the only way to explain the name Lainey Gardner being said basically on repeat for like 7.5 minutes. It's like he thought if he just said her name 2 or 3 dozen times in as small a window as possible, she was going to magically pop up behind a cloud of smoke in the studio and grant him 3 wishes, which he would promptly just use one to have her whisk him away to Florida where he could just relax, drink tea on the front porch after working a 2-hour shift at Rally's where he pawned off a closet full of old bowling shirts to the fry cooks and then just kind of relax while he looks for the next hilarious comedy bit from 2016 to recite for the 3 people he hasn't blocked on Facebook.
Oh.
That comes from Yo Pop Pop. You want to come in here?
Yo Pop Pop. You want to come in here? He's new.
I was browsing some nice pieces of cube steak at Schnucks the other day, waiting for my pink eye medicine to be ready. None of the meat looked very good, so I bought 4 rotisserie chickens and a 2-liter of Vest cream soda. I needed these goodies as I had worked up a huge appetite that day working at St. Gabe's in preparation of the carnival of beefers will be staking up our hallowed halls this Saturday. I was contracted to increase the horsepower and lifting capacity of the elevators and stairlifts at St. Gabe's gym in advance of the fat asses who are going to need to be hoisted up the steps. Doug, is the audience that heavy that they need a lift?
They're heavy, and there's no doubt.
I had to weld additional steel I-beams on all the chairs while also placing 12 defibrillators here and there. I still have to take down all the stall dividers in the bathroom and put sandbags around the toilets. There will be 4 portable Sibians set up on the stage for you fellas, as well as a table for Hoosiers to bring trash from their homes and leave for others to have to deal with. Items we really need are semen-stained bowling shirts, semen-stained cassettes or CDs, and semen and smoke-stained J.O. mags.
They're brand new. They've never been worn.
As always, please have fun and good luck to all the competitors. That's from the Calcified Ear.
Calcified Ear.
You think about one of those buzzing plugs, if we all wore one and every right answer.
We got a
one of the
buzz
table
in our
get
boils.
buzz it.
Little did Jackson know that accepting Ken's offer to do a round of trivia would turn into another burdensome babysitting task that is somehow taking 5 weeks to complete 10 questions. Spoiler alert, the answers to Ken Hoosier Music Round will likely be any of the following. Stevie Nicks, Los Lonely Boys, Lindsey Buckingham, Thin Lizzy, San Angelo, Texas, Lady Gaga, JoJo, Henry, Ringo, Knights in White Satin, and or Lulu Diaz. While the round progresses, one can only assume Ken will be acting like one of the cools and hanging off the side of the stage like the figurative show goiter he is, hanging on to Tim and the show for dear life. Still a great night. Thanks. That's from a bootlegged impression of your favorite comedian, but much worse.
bootlegged impression of your favorite comedian, only worse. He's new.
So the head of the company who manages 100 people should know the days Iggy likes to take vacation as well as his golf and bowling scores.
Being facetious.
But Iggy can't remember the name of the guy who helps him reset his password every month so he can check emails during the show. That's from Shooter McGavin, the vice president of Trivia Night XL Bowling Shirts.
Shooter McGavin.
And finally, real quick, I've got a hashtag opening at my trivia table on Saturday night. Email buckswope@gmail.com if you're interested. I know a lot about negotiating contracts from a position of weakness, and it's great. How's John Mazzella? We're going to bring that back? How about that whole deal?
I love that.
I think we all know this offseason will play out. Mo will put his coded PR statements out there thinking no one will call his bluff. We'll target a bunch of second-tier options. We'll suffer sticker shock at the asking price and ultimately balk at the best available second-tier options. And then when there's a genuine risk of being completely shut out, he will make a desperation overpay signing in terms of dollars and years, a la Fowler and Contreras, and then fill out the rotation with a long-term deal for some career average pitcher coming off career years, a la Matz, and whatever low-hanging fruit is left. Rinse, repeat. They haven't had a strategy to win the World Series since they started hiring unqualified yes-men to manage the team, and they're always trying to do just enough to mollify the most blindly loyal B-fibs into fooling themselves into getting excited about next season in a perpetual strategy to tread water to keep their heads above the line of contention. Stop thinking you can solve the problem in a single offseason. And now to complicate matters, your basic cable sugar daddy's going away, which is something they should have been anticipating for years. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps and find a media rights partner who will invest in the long-term health of the club. Maybe the Hubbard sales staff can find them a TV partner and get points on the package. I actually like Iggy's straw man press conference question about Ohtani. In my opinion, the dumbest thing he's ever said is that a bunch of dumpster divers at a Section 8 housing complex are no longer Hoosier because they found his clothes that definitely don't smell like smoke because smoke smell never leaves the bathroom. That's from Buck Swope.
Buck Swope with a fine little email
Doug,
this
that's
morning.
what we have for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today.
I thought Buck Swope was really good, but I'd like to diversify a little bit and vote for Yo Pop Pop. You want to come in here? That's what I'm voting for.
Yeah, I was going to go with Pop Pop even if you didn't vote for him.
There it is. Pop Pop has shipped it.
Okay.
I thought Buck Swope was good. I thought we had a number of good ones.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Pop Pop. You have shipped the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. Well, Doug, here we go on the YouTube on 101 ESPN. It's a Thoroughfare Thursday.
Yeah. Very much different than a wide berth Wednesday.
It couldn't be more different.
Thank you,
It's like an
Paul.
onion comparing it to an apple.
It's completely unscripted. This ad-lib, fellas.
Welcome to the groundlings. It's time for us to shut it down for the Plug for Action Jackson, for Kenneth Iggy Strode, for my brother Kevin, for Douglas Elvin Vaughn. I'm Tim McKernan. This has been TMA, presented by Brown and Crouppen from our Michelob Ultra Studios.
Hey, this is Joe Buck. We all